You're listening to The Pete Sheppard Show.
It's good to be back.
The 1-1. Ground ball. Here comes the runner. Play at the plate. He slides in safe. The Red Sox win it. Eaton scores. All you wanted was contact. That's what you got. The 11th walk-off win this season, tied for the most in the majors. This thing is over. The Red Sox win it 5-4.
Yay! Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pete Sheppard Show here on the Coastal Sports Digital Network. Nice win by the Red Sox last night, getting back on track in extra innings. We will have a full MLB rundown a little bit later on. It's going to be football, and more football. Could this be the last night that Mike McDaniel, a.k.a. Charlie Brown, is coaching the Dolphins? We shall see. We got a lot to talk about today in the NFL and college football. Thanks for checking us out across the awesome Coastal Sports Digital Network video platform. Follow me on X, on Twitter, at PShep326, on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, CSDN, Florida, Odyssey, LinkedIn, and, of course, the great sports radio app we have here, SR1029, The Game. And call or text the show, as always, 727-858-6650. Monster show lined up for you today from WQAM in Miami. Trevor Harris will join me at 8:05 for his weekly visit. Then Rick Horrow, our sports business guru, he is back. And, man, do we have a lot to talk about with him between the Tampa Bay Rays and their ownerships. Big story broke last night. And, of course, what's going on. He's very close with Stephen Ross, the owner of the Miami Dolphins. We'll see if we can get a little insight there. And then Bill Burt with the Eagle Tribune. We'll talk some Patriots Steelers coming up and coming up at 9:05 this morning. The NCAA set precedent yesterday, approving a single transfer portal window, which we will get to. I think that's actually a good thing. And Chris Mad Dog Russo yesterday with a rant against boxing that I happen to agree with 100% about the start time, which was around 1 a.m. The other night, morning, I should say, for a boxing match. I think there was one on Netflix. I'm not sure. But anyway, we say good morning to Angel Martinez right out of the gate in Tampa. Hello, Angel. Good morning.
We're at the radio and everything is fired up. Good morning, Pete, and good morning to everyone out there. And by the way, as we experiment once again to make sure everything looks and sounds good, you guys can actually catch us on Instagram as well. So that is today's day 2 of me testing it out. Yesterday I tried to test it out as well.
What account on Instagram? Where is it on Instagram?
On the CSGNFL on that one. So yeah, excellent. That's awesome, on there.
Awesome. So they're letting people do shows now on Instagram. That's great.
Yeah, they're not. Well, the biggest problem with Instagram, and so let me revert back.
TikTok.
Well, yeah, you can do it on TikTok as well. That's you can do that one. But I think maybe finally Instagram kind of got a clue, because what ended up happening was Instagram has been available for like the last 4 years. And the only reason why I haven't done it with us over there was because they would only do it in portrait. They wouldn't put it in landscape. So if you would watch it, everybody would be able to see you, and then there would be a cutoff. So you would get like superimposed on the screen, and then half of it would be cut off. That's just the way that Instagram do it. Yeah, well, that's the way they used to do it. So now you actually get the full picture in there, and that's the only reason why I haven't done it before on Instagram, just for that simple reason, and that's that. So, yeah, we are on Instagram, and thank you for those who subscribe over there to Instagram. If you don't, you can always check us out, CSDNFL over on Instagram, and of course on Pete, he is the man over on Instagram. That's his handle. So,
okay,
not that, but...
I have an Instagram account too. I'll be honest with you. I need to use it more. I don't. I mean, Twitter, Facebook, and it's just I can't keep up with all the social media, but I have to. And as long as I can link my account, my Instagram account, to the CSDN Florida Instagram account, then we're in business.
And we got a message this morning from Longwhile. Gas Pump Guy says, good morning, fellas. Hope you have a great day, man. How about them Bucks at 2-0? And Baker is definitely an MVP candidate so far this year. He is doing awesome stuff right now. He is.
All right. Yeah, well, yeah, I'm going to pump the brakes on 2-0. I just love his game. I mean, he's a hard guy not to root for. And I don't care what team you root for.
Yeah.
No, he's the man right now. He is taking over, and we've heard some cuts of people. He is absolutely taken over up your area. You know, the guy can do no wrong, and he's definitely a leader there. 2-0. They're 2-0 for the third time in a row, if I'm not mistaken, 3 years in a row. So yeah, there's a lot to be thankful for Baker Mayfield and Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we'll get to them a little bit later on. We're going to start with baseball today a little bit. We got football too. I got tons of video from the Patriots. I got Aaron Rodgers, talking about Mike Vrabel, and we got a lot of baseball video as well from the Red Sox win last night. Phillies got blanked 5-0, but who cares? They've already clinched the division. Doesn't matter. Red Sox and Seattle tied now with the same record for the second and third spot in the wild card, just 2 games behind the Yankees and 2.5 up on Cleveland, and the 5 back of the Toronto Blue Jays. But Tampa Bay Rays president, this story came out last night around 5:30 last night. Tampa Bay Rays president Matt Silverman and Brian Auld will step down from their roles as part of the pending sale of the team to new owners. Rays saying on Wednesday that the moves are connected with the franchise's sale that they said could close within the next couple of weeks. Keep hearing that. Pending final approvals, the team said it would share information about the sale and new ownership group after the transaction is completed. Owner Stu Sternberg, again, reading off the ESPN page by the AP. Owner Stu Sternberg, who has controlled the club since 2005, as you all know, has been negotiating to sell the Rays to a group headed by Patrick Zalupski. Silverman and Auld would have led the Rays operations both internally and externally in their presidential roles. But Silverman is wrapping up his 22nd season with the Rays, 17th as team president. He was promoted to team president back in October of 2005 at just 29 years of age, and then later served 3 seasons of president of baseball operations from 2015 to 2017. And Silverman will not have a formal role with the club after the sale is complete. He will represent Sternberg and his partners on an executive advisory board being established by the new ownership group. And Silverman said, quote, "What makes me proudest is seeing how the Rays have become woven into the region's identity with a true generational fan base taking shape." Who made that up? Mike McDaniel? Children who once came to games are now bringing their own family. What? Children who once came to games are now bringing their own families, and that the sense of connection will continue to grow for decades to come. Under Stu's leadership, we have fulfilled our mission to energize the community through the magic of Rays baseball. The magic of Rays baseball?
Yeah, it's very.
I mean, this year, they're out of it this year. They're okay run. They're playing in a minor league ballpark at Steinbrenner Stadium, down the street from Ray J. And, attendance has been okay. It's the usual suspects. When the Red Sox, Yankees, Cubs, Mets come in, that's where you get the crowds. Other than that, the Dodgers maybe. Other than that, the magic of Rays baseball? What am I missing?
It's if you haven't experienced it so far this season, you are missing out.
It's like,
Exactly.
Abra cadabra. I mean, what does that mean? I mean, the big story is where they're going to play. That's what's the big story, and then that's just why that Rick Horrow is going to be a great guy to have on today, because he keeps up with this stuff, and hopefully he has some insight, maybe some inside information today that we can pick his brain about between that and the Miami Dolphins. Rick says, "The Big Show forever. Radio in Boston will never be that great again. Much respect to you, you fat bastard." We used to have this caller that on the wire line at the end. He'd say, "Hey, Hardway." And then he'd say his little piece. He'd go, "You fat bastard." Unless it's Rick, I don't know. Anyway, thanks. Yeah. Well, I mean, this is where we're at. I can't say anything about the other radio stations. I don't listen all that often. We play cuts from them sometimes and blurbs from interviewing certain athletes that are nationally. So, but I wish everybody well. It's a terrestrial radio. They're all going bankrupt, so it's just a matter of time. This is where it's at, and that's why on this show I do whatever I want, And Angel, we do a great job here in the Coastal Sports Digital Network. So, in the words of Babu Bhatt, tell your friends. Anyway.
Yep.
So more on the Tampa Bay Rays. We'll have when Rick Horrow comes on at 8:40 this morning. We will talk to him about that Eastern time, by the way, and a whole lot more. All right. Meanwhile, let's get to the Red Sox from last night, Angel. Let's see, and then we'll have a lot of Patriots video as well. If we could scroll down first, it's off for Nesson. Nick Sogard walks it off for the Red Sox last night. Pinch hitting, by the way, for Rafi Sedania. And bold move by Alex Cora, but it ended up working out. You see it, Angel? It's down a bit.
Walks it off.
Yep.
Right. And here we go. Oh, damn it. Hang on. Goodness gracious. Ay, ay, ay. When you have to prepare 30,000 things in the morning. All right, rewind. And here we go again. Ta-da.
The 1-1. Ground ball. Here comes the runner. Play at the plate. He slides in safe. The Red Sox win it. Eden scores. All you wanted was contact. That's what you got. Kotze has a hand on the Red Sox is celebrating. Kotze coming out. Red Sox 5, A's 4 in 10 innings. The 11th walk-off win this season, tied for the most in the majors. This thing is over. The Red Sox win it 5-4.
Well, you needed a win, and you needed it now. You needed it last night. You didn't get it. You had to find a way. Hats off to the bullpen. They did a tremendous job. Tremendous coming in and getting big outs all night. And how about Alex Cora? Taking his everyday center fielder out because, look, we know what we need right now. It is contact. You haven't been giving it to us. You just got to trust the big fella sometimes. He pushes the right button, gets the job done, puts the ball in play. Red Sox win.
Nate Eaton flying home. Man, did the Red Sox need that one.
Oh.
In the worst way. And they got it to even up the series. They win it in 10. A little of that magic here at Fenway. 5-4 the final. Just a little ground ball. That's all it took on the infield. And on contact, Eaton comes flying home.
All right, Angel, can we scroll one up there? And here is Nick Sogard on Nesson after the game, post-game, with his approach to the plate in the 10th.
Your manager puts you in there in that spot. What are you thinking about your plan at the plate, stepping in there in that situation with the bases loaded?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't pretty. My whole goal there is to put the ball in play, and didn't hit it hard, didn't hit it good, but it was enough, so we'll take it.
How significant is it for you to have the trust of Alex Cora to be able to pinch hit for Cedon there?
Yeah, I think it means a lot. I think Cedon's obviously a great hitter, but...
Ouch.
Yeah.
He came after you too, huh?
Yeah, I'll get him back for that one of these days. But to be able to come to in that spot there.
Yeah, no, it feels good. I think just trying not to do too much, put the ball in play, and it worked out.
Now, all are important over the course of 162 games, but given the fact we're running out of regular season here, how would you characterize this win?
Good. I think just try to keep everyone trying to just stay calm and play ball, play loose, and then everything should take care of itself.
As you're sitting there watching the game, 7 relievers were utilized in this contest. Some big outs there in the 10th from Kelly and Murphy. How significant were their contributions?
Huge. I think the pitching's been awesome lately. And they did it again today. So I think we'll do our part on offense, and everything should be all right.
All right, thanks so much, Nick. Sacramento kid coming through.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All righty. Angel, if we could scroll up one more from that. Here's Alex Cora, understanding the magnitude of tonight's game. Last night's game, I should say.
Here we go.
Where we at roster-wise, the way we have to be patient. People don't understand that playing Romy and ref against righties, it takes away certain cards late in the game. So you have to be very patient, understanding that Sogi's a switch hitter, Hammy might hit, and we were patient through the process, and at the end, it was first and second with Carlos, put a great bunt, and then Sogi was going to make contact, and Nate was the third, and it was a great contact play.
Just like the way things are going with runners in scoring position, how much do you need to just kind of do those little things that you do?
Yeah, I think, we hit some balls hard today. Like Alex hit the one down the line, the one Romy hit, I don't know, whatever. But we did a better job. We're getting there. Thought it was a good baseball game, and I think the bullpen after the fifth were really good, and we played good defense, so it was a good win.
All right, that's enough of that, Angel. That's great. There's Alex Cora, the manager of the Red Sox. Going to scroll up to Trevor's story above that, Angel. Just give me a second here, because he stole a base in the sixth inning. He did get caught stealing, finally trying to steal second in the eighth. First time he was caught attempting to steal this year after 31 consecutive successful steals, the longest such streak to start a season in the American League since stolen bases were first recorded back in 1920. But here's Trevor's story on the win last night.
Trevor, over the course of a 162-game season, all the games are important, but how do you guys characterize this one after the way you're able to come back to get victory?
Yeah, it was big. Especially going down kind of early in the game and fighting our way back. And again, we had a lot of traffic out there, and we were able to scrap one or two. It felt like this time, and that's the difference. A lot of times in games, it's what you can get in your opportunities, and it felt like a better day. Definitely a lot more quality at bats.
Said a lot of guys grew up a lot today, competing in an atmosphere like this. What did you see in the dugout, just with some of your younger, less experienced teammates, the way they responded today?
Yeah, the boys did great, like you said, or like AC said. There's nothing that can kind of prepare you for playing in this type of environment this late in the season for what's at stake. So it's all about your process and controlling yourself, and not making the moment too big. And I think we did a good job of that today. And tough to win coming from behind in this league, and to be able to do it today, with the situation, it was nice.
All right, Trevor Story right there. Red Sox again tied with Seattle now for the second and third spot, both with identical records. Seattle technically ahead, as you said. The Red Sox have the tiebreaker with Houston that's now leading the division because Seattle lost last night. They're flip-flopping all the time. But tiebreaker scenario, the Red Sox have the tiebreaker with Cleveland and with Houston. But a little bit more to go. Just got to hang in there. They play this afternoon at Fenway Park, getaway day. It'll be Brian Bayo on the mound today for the Red Sox against JT Ginn. Bayo 11-7, 3.25 ERA. Ginn is 3-6, 4.69 ERA. So that's at 1:35 this afternoon at Fenway Park. All right, let's get. We'll do some more MLB stuff in a little bit, but let's get to football. Okay, let's get to the National Football League. Angel, if we could scroll down a little bit to Aaron Rodgers. It's right under the Nesson thing with Sogard walking off. Aaron Rodgers yesterday. He's a quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers, in case you didn't know. My nickname for him, as most of you know, is Flaky Boy. So Flaky Boy talks about Milton Williams and Harold Landry and others as they get ready to come to Foxborough on Sunday to play the Patriots.
Aaron, what stands out to you about New England's defense so far this season?
Well, they got some new players, and those guys are playing well. Both their big acquisitions in the offseason, 97 and 2, and off to a good start this season. It looks like a Vrabel defense, the way they fly around, different looks they got, aggressive blitzing nature that they do. So they're playing good on defense.
Aaron, what stands out to you about...
There's Aaron Rodgers. All right, Angel, if we could scroll up and let me see. Scroll up. Let's get to Christian Gonzalez. Christian Gonzalez finally practiced yesterday. We'll get his status today. Hopefully he'll be able to play against the Steelers. He's been battling that hamstring interview. So it's under, if you see it, Angel and Michael Rodnick, let's hear Christian Gonzalez in the locker room play some of this, not the whole thing from yesterday. Hopefully we'll find out his status later today.
I mean, just excited to be back out there. I love football. This is what I do. So I mean, it's been very challenging to be out for so long. But I mean, I'm focused on here now, so not really too worried about the injury, and not really gonna answer no questions on that. We're focused on the Steelers. So,
what's the process been like, though? It's been since July 28th. What's that been like for you physically, maybe more so mentally, to get to this point now?
It's been hard. I mean, it's been tough, but it's part of football. Everything in football is tough. You know, it's going to test you physically. It's going to test you mentally. So I mean, it's just a part of it.
Do you plan on playing this Sunday?
I'm focused on today.
Like Vrabel mentioned that you were really active in meetings, you were asking questions. What allowed you to stay locked in, even though obviously it was tough to get out?
Yeah, I mean, it's football at the end of the day. I mean, it's still just love watching film, love football. I mean, it's not hard to come in here and learn more about football. I mean, it's still so much I have to learn, so it's not hard at all to come in.
All right, that's good. That's good, Angel. Right there. Meanwhile, and if we scroll down to not Drake May, but below that, we'll get to Drake above that in a second. Stephon Diggs talked about having Christian Gonzalez back in the lineup, hopefully on Sunday.
Shit, that would be amazing. You know, obviously, Zoe, is one of our stars, especially, from that cornerback position. I feel like he plays a key role on our defense, and he's definitely one of the captains on this team. So, I don't know too much of what he said or didn't say, but I'm going to tell you from personal view, we would be super excited to have him back. Shit, that would be amazing.
All right. And one up from that, Angel, Drake May on Stephon Diggs, what he is like, the Patriots wide receiver, behind the scenes.
He's a great teammate. I think that's the biggest thing. He's fire on game day. You see him even in practice. He wants to bring it. Rightfully so. I think he thinks a lot of the guys around him. I think he wants to be a great teammate. He wants to bring the energy. He's a leader, and I think he wants the ball. And I think we got to do my part of trying to get to him more. And he's a great teammate. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, okay. There it is, Drake May. And then, Angel, I know, okay, you scroll way down again, underneath Aaron Rodgers, Drake May getting some national love from the Pat McAfee show, Dan Orlovsky on Drake May. Some really, really cool comments that he made yesterday on the show about Monsieur May.
I was just looking for it, Dan. I couldn't find the tweet, but you put out a Cam Ward tweet from week 1 about his film, and I thought I saw a Drake May tweet about his film from week 2.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Did Drake May look awesome as well?
I would tell you that I thought this was the best game of him as a professional.
Wow.
I thought when it comes to some of the stuff that Drake May did now, a little bit of as a credit to Josh McDaniel, I thought they moved him a lot more. I mean, he's such a big-time athlete. They moved him, so the athleticism was a bigger part of the game in his game, and he throws so well on the run. I thought some of the ball placement throws that he had versus some decent coverage was big time, and then his ball fakes have grown a lot. This ball to Boutte is absolutely perfect on the one-on-one down in the red zone. The ball to the back down the sideline. This one to Ramondre, this ball. I don't care if the guy's in his back pocket. It's perfect, and so I think. When it comes to this, like Drake last year, there was a tremendous amount of growth in his feet in the pocket and his movement and throwing in rhythm and timing. And then this game, it was like, listen, there's a lot of remnants in this game of Ben Roethlisberger and Josh Allen and just the style of play. If you just took the jersey, there's a lot of stuff that looked like early guys of Ben Roethlisberger and Josh Allen style-wise. Big time.
Okay.
He was awesome.
Yeah, Connor was just squirming in his seat.
Well, then I remembered. I need to temper what I am, hearing, because it is Dan Goofslowski.
No, it's not.
And I'm not sure, how long.
We had a moment.
You were talking about the Dan Wagon, where the Dan Wagon does get latched to a lot of different players early in the season.
And he latched it to Cam Ward when they lost 33-19. And he played great.
Did you see that throw?
The film, yeah, the film. I know I'm a non-player.
But I think everybody has said, including Dan, Cam Ward good, Titans bad.
Exactly.
It's got to make sense. So he's saying Drake May good at least. Now Patriots good?
TBD.
Question mark. Yeah.
They're not talented enough to be like good, I don't think.
Oh,
but I
no.
think that Drake
You didn't have to
May-
give an answer there. That was not an expected answer, but I do appreciate
see
you.
something, I swing at it.
You know it.
See something, I swing at it, man.
Yes, you do.
All right, great stuff there from Darren Orlovsky. Absolutely, and there was no question it was Drake May's best game so far. He had some moments last year on a really bad football team, but you can see, imagine this in the National Football League, actual progression from a quarterback. And he's also right about Cam Ward. Cam Ward played really well last week, but that offensive line for the Titans is just terrible. But Cam Ward, you can tell he's going to be the man. And he'll get there. He'll continue to develop. That offensive line hopefully will become more of a cohesive unit, just like the Patriots has. Really, they've been pretty good so far in both games, to be honest with you. But they were really good against Miami, and we'll see what happens against Pittsburgh this week. But I think the Steelers are going to be in for a little bit of trouble in Foxborough on Sunday, because I think that was a breakout game mentally, physically for Drake May. And if just get Stephon Diggs going a little bit more, Pop Douglas get him more involved, only one target last week, and the running game has been so far terrific. And if Gonzalez comes back on defense, huge. Then we'll have all, as Coach Normandale said, all the Pistons will be firing. This we played yesterday, and Angel, I'll just play it from here. You don't need to see the video. Tua Tagovailoa. These comments about Josh Allen, is Tua playing against him this week, or is he his publicist? I'm not sure.
Dude, he's top tier. If it's not with his arm, it's with his legs. That dude can do literally anything he wants. So definitely different skill set for me. I can't do half of what he does when it comes to running the ball and any of that. And then with how he can just chuck a ball down the field, with how far and the arm strength that he has, he's supreme when it comes to that. So it's gonna be fun. Get to see him, get to play him again, and we'll see.
Wow, you do not need to go all in on Josh Allen, Tua Tagovailoa. If I'm his teammates and offensive lineman, I'm pissed. You don't have to say that. Just say, hey, he's a very good player, and I have to. He goes, but we got to go out there, and I got to do my thing. You don't become a publicist with Josh Allen. It's another thing that is so wrong with the Miami Dolphins. They don't do anything right. From ownership down to the GM, the coach Charlie Brown, and now you got your quarterback who wants to be a publicist with Josh Allen. The Bills are going. The Dolphins have allowed 33 points in 2 straight games. Does anybody not think that Buffalo's not going to put up at least 40 tonight? 40, at least. Now, the line's 11 or 12, 11 and a half around there. I still thought, I'd lay it still. I think they're going to cover. I think it's over. There are people out there speculating that Mike McDaniel's not going to get fired until after they come back from, they play overseas against Washington. I can't see it. I can't see if they get humiliated tonight, and I think there's a good chance that they might. I don't know how in the hell you come back with Mike McDaniel coaching the next game. You got 10 days to figure it out after tonight before the Dolphins are back in action. Over on the Fitz and Wit podcast, Dan Marino, who I always love, by the way, probably the only Dolphin I ever really liked because I loved him at Pittsburgh. Dan Marino on the game coming up tonight with the Buffalo Bills.
You're right. Winning takes care of everything. It makes everybody feel good. It makes everything positive. The big thing is, in Buffalo, we play in Thursday. So, that's a quick turnaround. That's why you have to have that mindset. Like, hey, last year we lost on the last, field goal at the end of the game. So we almost had them beat up there in Buffalo. So, it's there. We have the ability to do it. It's just you got to get it done.
All right, and earlier in that interview, Dan talked about the Dolphins 0-2 start.
Well,
yeah,
Dan, we need some help for you to break down this Miami situation. Do I need to hit the panic button on my Dolphins? We're going to be good to go. Where are we at, Dan?
I think it's not a panic situation. As you know, you played in the league many times, and we actually should have won the game yesterday, and it was one of those things that, when the NFL comes down to the end a lot. The first game, we didn't really play well, and everybody knows that. And I felt like we played more than well enough to win this game. It's just at the end, we had a touchdown. Achan goes out of bounds, and then the next thing you know, a couple penalties, and then we end up losing the game. They came back from, they were down 12-0, the Dolphins. They came back from that, and they came back from another lead that New England had, and I thought they played pretty solid the whole day. It's just, as you guys know, you got to take advantage of opportunities when you have them, especially like that at the end of games, because in the NFL, all the games go down to the end.
Well, yeah, I mean, most of the stuff he says is I sort of agree with, but the Dolphins gave it up in all three phases of the game. The Patriots were better in all three phases of the game on Sunday. It's just that simple. And last year the Patriots were a lot of if, but, when, maybes. A lot of their games came down to the last 4 or 5 games came down to the wire. I blame Gerard Mayo for losing at least 3 of them for them, the way he coached, and the rest of it was lack of execution by the Patriots. But what Dan didn't bring up is is how lackadaisical, how situational football came into play late in that game against the Patriots, and Miami was clueless, and that was all coaching. They didn't know how to substitute properly. They delay games, penalties. They looked like a clusterfuck out there, and that's what Dan didn't bring up. All right, more NFL news. Speaking of cluster bleeps, how about Bears head coach Ben Johnson is not happy with how his team has been playing or practicing?
I think our practice habits are yet to reflect the championship caliber team.
There you have it.
That was quick.
Green Bay at Cleveland as well. Here's Kevin Stefanski focusing on the hard work for this week. This is from the Browns webpage.
We focus on work. That's really what we hang our hat on. And I trust the group we have. I trust that we can get better from a fundamental standpoint, from a certainly schematic standpoint, and a lot of when you get some small improvements in a bunch of areas, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, okay. I think they're in big trouble this week. Here's Joe Flacco, quarterback of the Browns, facing the Packers D.
Yeah, they're good. They got a good front. It always presents challenges. That's what defenses are trying to do. They're trying to stop the run and make you one-dimensional and then get after the passer. So it's our job to match that physicality and do the best we can in those areas of the game. I mean, that's the constant battle. Anytime you're going against a team with a good front, though, they obviously, it's a challenge, and that's what we're getting ready to do this week.
Well, Cleveland is a 7.5-point dog at home against Green Bay, and I think they're going to have a hard time scoring, to be honest with you. But it's the NFL. Anytime a team is at home and a touchdown plus the hook underdog, I'll still tomorrow. I gotta see where I'm at when I do my picks tomorrow. And I'll recap everything from the week before as well. I did not have as good a week this past week as I did to start the season, but nevertheless, fairly successful. We'll go through the numbers tomorrow on the show. Indianapolis at Tennessee. Cam Ward says he needs to be quicker with his progressions.
I'll say just continue to get through progressions faster, especially backside. Moving on from my first read pre-snap and just giving my guys a chance because we won, especially Ellie and Reed, they won a lot of the backside routes that I didn't get to, but I had to step up. Then just really getting better in the pocket, moving within the pocket, keeping a short stride, getting the ball out.
All right, and moving on to Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones. He's the quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts, if you don't realize that. 2-0 and playing great. Why he loves being a Colt.
Why do you love being a Colt?
Why do I love being a Colt? I think just the guys. I mean, the guys on the team. We got a fun, great, locker room. Guys are just in it and ready to work. The guys up front, I think, skill guys across the board. Guys on defense. We've got a lot of guys who care a lot about football and good dudes.
Wow. I mean, you talk about right now, he is definitely in the lead for comeback player of the year. There is no question about that. But again, very, very early in the season. Cincinnati will be at Minnesota. Carson Wentz makes history, starting for his sixth different team. Pittsburgh at the Patriots. As you know, you heard from Aaron Rodgers earlier, and a lot of the Patriots. Here's more from Aaron Rodgers on running back Jaylen Warren.
I think the biggest compliment I can give him is, when you're behind a 4 straight 1,000-yard rusher, you're seeing it's a change-up back. And, he's the guy who could be a number 1 back on any team in the league. So really thankful for him. I think the play that he had the other day was one of the greatest catch and runs I've seen.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with Flaky Boy, who did not look good at all last week against Seattle. They looked okay against the Jets, and the Jets got humiliated by Buffalo. So how good are the Pittsburgh Steelers? We shall see. The Rams of Philadelphia, Angel, that could be a preview of the NFC Championship. The Rams are my pick to get to the Super Bowl for the NFC. Vic Fangio was talking about Jalen Carter. Does it concern you, Angel? He has to get in better shape. You worried about that at all?
Nah, not at all. I think I give him some more Slim Jims and he'll be just fine. But no, I'm not concerned. He could, if he really wants to, minus the bulking up, but he could lose a pound or two just to make sure that obviously he's not winded by the end of the game.
Yeah. And no unfortunate or unexpected loogies as well. Yeah. Sean McVay, by the way, I did not know this. He tore the plantar fascia during somebody's foot during the Rams win over the Titans. So he got celebrating and stuff like that. It's weird how many celebrations, injuries that happen. People don't realize it. The Jets are going to be at Tampa Bay, and Justin Fields will not be playing in that game. Good morning, Dylan. Good morning, gents. Pete, get your foot off the boat. Yes, as always. Justin Fields ruled out with a concussion. Baker Mayfield on getting up from the injury to trash talk C.J. Gardner-Johnson, by the way.
It was that moment in the game. You took a pretty hard hit. And, it looked like you could have been seriously hurt. And you sprang right back up and just started jawing with C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Just what's the mentality like in those moments for you?
We don't take any That's about it.
We don't take no shit from anybody. Todd Bowles says it's time to start considering Baker Mayfield as one of the league's top QBs. You have to tell me.
Baker Mayfield is like a little bit like Superman coming out of the phone booth, that guy. What goes through your mind when you're talking to that guy, or it's the last drive of the game, and how much confidence do you have in him and everybody else? Because I think he instills confidence in your whole team.
We think he's a heck of a quarterback. We keep talking about his drives like he's doing something superhero-like, but when anybody else does it, they consider it a good quarterback. I think we should consider him a good quarterback. He knows how to win. He understands when he has to run. He makes plays in clutch times, and, he's been leading us to the playoffs the past few years. So I think you got to look at him for what he is now and for not what everybody saw him at when he was in Cleveland.
You're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe? Again, it cracks me up. He sounds just like the cop in Beverly Hills Cop, Todd Bowles, excellent coach, by the way. Tyrod Taylor going to take over for Justin Fields, as I told you, ruled out concussion protocol. He talked about it.
The team being 0-2, the fan base is starting to get a little antsy, and now you coming into that situation against a really good opponent. What kind of pressure do you feel?
No other pressure than any other game. I'm as confident as ever in the guys within this locker room. We know we're facing a very good team, but I have all the belief and faith in the guys in this locker room that we can get the job done.
All right. Tell you what we're going to do. That was, again, Justin Fields out and Tyrod Taylor in. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, don't take anything for granted, but go attack the Jets and go whip their asses, which I think they will. At Ray J coming up this weekend. Anyway, we're going to hear more we got more cuts, Vegas and Washington, Atlanta, Carolina, Houston and Jacksonville, Denver and the Chargers. We'll get to all of that and a lot more, some college football news to tell you about as well. Trevor Harris coming up at 8:05. We'll talk on game day coming to Coral Gables on Saturday before the Canes take on the Florida Gators at Hard Rock on Saturday night. We'll talk to Trevor about that. Rick Horrow, a sports business guru, also a huge Canes fan and very connected in the Miami scene as well. We'll talk to him about the Canes, the Dolphins, and what's going on with the Tampa Bay Rays and ownership there. And then Bill Burt at 9:05. We'll talk more in depth about the Steelers coming to Foxborough on Sunday to take on the Patriots. All part of the Pete Sheppard Show here today on a Thursday on the Coastal Sports Digital Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey everybody, it's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them, sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
Interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Whoa! Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie. So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The Pete Sheppard Show. It's fun for the whole family, if it's dysfunctional.
They've got a lot of speed on their team overall, in particular on their offense and their returners as well. They do a lot of different things. I think Coach McDaniel is one of the better coaches in the league, and offensively and how he schemes things up, and hard to defend, explosive. So, it makes for a big challenge, and especially on a short week.
No, it doesn't. No. Bullshit. But you got to say all those things as a coach. That was Sean McDermott, head coach of the Buffalo Bills, fantasizing that Mike McDaniel is still a good coach, or whatever you want to say. But he has to say all that stuff. And the end will be near tonight for the Miami Dolphins and their whole regime, as I believe they will get humiliated on the road on a short week by the Buffalo Bills, who are going to put up 40 minimum. And I see that game like 40-17. That's how I'm looking at it. I just don't see how they have any faith. Then you had Tua Tagovailoa become Josh Allen's agent, publicist yesterday at the press conference, or 2 days ago. I mean, just embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing stuff. And they're going to have to blow it all up, whether it's trading Tua or Tyreek Hill and all that stuff. They're going to find a new GM. They're going to find a new coach. And good luck in the interim with Anthony Weaver, the DC, or Darrell Bevell, been mentioned as well. But we will see in the offseason if Stephen Ross makes a big splash. And for him anyway, maybe going after Bill Belichick at North Carolina. We shall see. That's going to get really, really interesting. I also want to tell you real quick that Phil Castanetti's Sports World in Saugus, Mass. is New England's place to buy or sell the finest in sports memorabilia. For over 35 years, Sports World has offered the finest in sports collectibles. So head on down there to Phil Castanetti's Sports World, 184 Broadway in Saugus. Call 781-233-7222 for more information. Sports World in Saugus. Be there. And as always, the best articles and audio, only one source that provides everything you need. 365 days a year to satisfy your sports crave. It's Total Sports Prep. Staff combing through the best articles and audio so you don't have to. Sports and non-sports kicker stories will leave you laughing all day long. To get your free trial of Total Sports Prep, contact them, info@sportsbroadcastingcoach.com. That's info@sportsbroadcastingcoach.com. Total Sports Prep, the name says it all. All right, before we get back to some NFL sound, there was a pretty big story yesterday that happened last night. The college football is officially moving to a single offseason transfer portal window. The NCAA announced it yesterday. The Division I Administrative Committee voted to approve a legislative change that eliminates the spring transfer window, but did not sign off on establishing January 2nd through the 11th as the lone portal window for FBS and FCS players. So in response to feedback from student athletes, the FBS and FCS Oversight Committee will discuss notifying the dates and length of a proposed January window. The Administrative Committee will consider those adjustments when it meets in October. Meanwhile, on Rich Eisen show yesterday, Paul Feinbaum talked about it.
What's your opinion of the NCAA's idea of having a transfer portal window open in January? Ryan Day, I don't blame him for pushing back on this. He's just like, hey, for those who play in January, really? Is that really? Like, not everyone gets to play in January, but that is Ryan Day and Ohio State's goal. And more often than not, they're going to play in January, right? Or play for a national championship deep into January. And the NCAA is like, well, for most everyone, they'll have the time to figure this out in January for a transfer portal window. What's your opinion of it, Paul?
Last year, Rich, the schedule was so screwed up. You had the backup quarterback at Penn State announce he was leaving while Penn State was getting ready for a playoff game. That's where we are, and it completely affects every aspect from the portal to coaching changes. Somebody asked me the other day, hey, what about this guy for that job? I'm like going, not hireable if he's in the playoffs, and the playoffs don't end until January 21st.
Yeah, I mean, these days, everything seems to last longer now. And I guess that's for another question down the road is when the college football world turns into a super league or not, and figure out who's in that boat and who isn't. But that's obviously for down the road. Paul, I appreciate you taking the time here and maiden voyage here on our our first couple weeks here on Disney.
Yeah, it doesn't. Again, Charlie Baker and the NCAA, they don't get it. It's just stupid. It doesn't. You're going to do a 1 week poll. You got to go into February. You can't do that when a whole bunch of teams are going to be qualifying. More teams. So it's 12 now. It's going to be up to 16, if not next year, the year after. You can't have that. You can't have the transfer portal going on or the 1 week while teams are preparing for the college football playoff. It makes no freaking sense to me at all. It's so ridiculous. They just can't get anything right. NCAA. We just can't get anything right. Crazy. Still battling my little cold here. All right, let's continue with the some NFL sound, Angel, and then we'll have Mad Dog Russo going off on the boxing match the other night. It was on Netflix, wasn't it, Angel?
Yep.
And they had a ton of people watched it, 4-point-something million, I believe. All right, Vegas at Washington this week. Head coach Pete Carroll letting go of Week 2's loss against the Chargers, but is looking forward to playing the Commanders in Week 3.
So we'll get through, tell the truth, meaning we'll talk about the game, then we'll flip it around, and away we go on the Commanders. We won't just drop this game. There's too much to learn. We're such a new team that there's so many things to learn.
Washington's going to be one of my best bets of the week. The Monday night team going on the road the next week, especially after a loss, and coming to the East Coast, the time zone, usually. Right, they're playing? Hang on a second. Let me just double-check that. They are they're playing at Washington. Oh, yes, they are. They're on the road. 1 o'clock on Fox, yes. So that's going to be and that's a game that Brady's doing. Brady's going to be the color commentator for that game, and then he has the Raiders-Bear game the following week. See how objective everybody is. It's going to be really interesting. Washington head coach Dan Quinn on how they will handle Jaden Daniels this week and the confidence they have in backup Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, he's begun return to play process for us, movements, the treatment to go. And then as we're starting the practice week, get into the throwing, and we're not going to miss a step of it and make sure, as we're going through it, he's truly day to day. And I'll have more as we're going through the next few days, but we're going to hit all the right spots for him. We know the value that he brings to us, and we're just going to take him all the way through it.
Yeah. I don't want to know any more about him than that, but as a head coach, to have Mariota on your roster, you're not alone with guys that the quarterbacks are a bit wounded here around the league, but Mariota, a little bit on him before I let you go, because you can sleep at night because you have a guy like that.
Yeah. Right at the top, we had a lot of free agents coming back into it. But when Adam and I sat down right after, we lost at the end, and then Marcus, man, that was the name up at the top to say, boy, we need him. It's what he brings on the field, what he brings off the field, the skill that he has, the experience that he has. We just thought, man, this is somebody that is a commander and represents all the things, we love about building this program together. So he's right in the middle of everything for us. We love him. We have a lot of faith in him if called upon. And so we'll just take it, like I said, day to day as I go through the week. But it is really, really important, and to have somebody that you have that much trust in, and we certainly do.
And I think it's, if you're not following it, Jaden Daniels hasn't practiced this week, and he's not expected to practice. He might practice tomorrow, and usually that means you're not going to play. So I would expect that Marcus Mariota will get the start on Sunday, but you never know. Let's see how Jaden Daniels looks on Friday. Atlanta, Carolina, we'll have more sound on that tomorrow. Houston at Jacksonville. Liam Cohen on Trevor Lawrence's prep for games.
The way that he can show that he's, continuing to respond is in his preparation, in the way that he's surgical with his footwork, with his reads, like playing the position at a high level and continuing to get better week in and week out, mastering their defensive scheme, knowing what's going to happen, using the formations and motions to be able to undress the defense, like being and playing the quarterback position at a high level and being a surgeon is how he can, if he feels that way. He hasn't brought it up or anything like that. So I just think, continuing to focus on him, on us, on our guys, on our execution, that's how you ultimately respond to anything.
And here's more from head coach Liam Cohen on having both his running backs ready to go.
And we've two guys that both can, we've had success running the football with, and then both guys that can catch the football and do something with it as well. Tootin on the one screen, it's maybe a 2-3 yard gain, and he splits through. And Anton had an unbelievable block on that play. The effort that he showed on that screen that kind of got out on Tootin on our sideline was great effort. But it's the ability to say, okay, you can put either one in maybe different spots in some ways, but both can catch it and do something with it. I can't coach that. I also, so you can try to design to put them in a position to go get them in space and do what they do best.
All right. Meanwhile, Denver is at the Chargers. Bo Nix on the upcoming divisional matchup.
It's going to be a tough battle. We're going to have to play well in all three phases to get the job done, but we feel confident, especially after going there last year and not being able to finish. We want to go over there and start the same way we did, and this time just finish the football game.
All right. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, that was Bo Nix, Denver QB, Justin Herbert, Chargers QB, on Quentin Johnson.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I think he's made a bunch of plays over the past 3 years. It started in camp. He came back, and he's having fun. He's confident. He's playing with a lot of juice. And to have a guy like that out there, all I got to do is get him the ball, and something good's going to happen. And, we saw that on the 60-yard plays. He runs a great route. He's fast, tough to cover, and he goes up there and makes plays.
All right, New Orleans is also at Seattle, Arizona at San Francisco. More on that. Well, actually, one cut. But Kyler Murray, by the way, apologized for posting a picture. This is so stupid. Why do people do that? I don't understand. Kyler Murray apologized for posting a picture wearing a Michael Vick jersey with his pit bull. I don't know. And then also, Kyler Murray speaks on the Marvin Harrison Jr. target issues, if they even are any.
He's really pulled Marvin down.
Yeah.
But do you feel like he should have more targets in a game right now?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you. I say it every time. Like, do I wish all of them could get 10 targets a game? Of course. There's only one ball. We've been playing this game for a long time. We all understand how it goes. Some days he's going to get 10, some days he might get 3, whatever it is, and Mike might get 8. You never know.
I think that's the attitude you have to have. But we know Marvin Harrison Jr. has been like a lot of wide receiver divas out there complaining a little bit. But the Cardinals are 2-0. They're at San Fran this week. They're 2-0. Can Mac Jones do it again 2 weeks in a row? We shall see. The other games, Kansas City at the Giants. More sound on that tomorrow. Monday Night Football, Detroit at Baltimore, which should be a great one. All right, Angel. Let's see. I'm just not a big boxing guy anymore at all. I used to be back in the day, particularly the middleweight division. But it's just, the other night on Netflix, I think if you had Netflix, right, the fight was free, if I'm not mistaken. 4.1 million people. The Canelo Crawford start time was a big issue for many. So, Angel, this is right at the top. It's right under the show.
Right.
It's right under the show. Here's Mad Dog Russo yesterday on First Take. Outraged.
Oh, boy. All right, here we go.
Fight, he in Indiana, it was at a decent hour. When I wanted to watch Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hearns in 85 with Al Michaels and Al Bernstein, it was at a decent hour. All right? Yeah. Listen, Canelo, who is not exactly freaking Sugar Ray Robinson, by the way. Canelo and Crawford, who, let's be honest, all right, he's not Sugar Ray Leonard. When these two are going to fight on a Saturday night, and thank God he got booed in the state. You see that? He got booed like crazy. I love that too. But when you're going to freaking have a fight on Saturday night, you can't start it at 12:50 at night. I mean, my God almighty, that fight, they didn't walk into the ring until 12:30. I'm in bed. I've been watching Texas A&M and Notre Dame. I've been betting and watching LSU against Florida. I have watched the baseball. I want my bread and cookies at 11. Watch the fight go to bed. I was sleeping. I had golf the next day. I bailed out. I stunk in freaking Jordan. But I played golf the next day. I had to be fresh in my. I don't want to keep my wife awake. And you got to sit there and you're going to start that fight at 10 minutes to 1 in the morning on a Saturday night. And I heard the excuse was the preliminaries ran too long. Who cares about the preliminaries? I didn't buy the fight to see some guy got a shooter I've never heard of. I bought the fight for these two. That is a disgrace. That's embarrassing that they started a major sporting event they claim at 1 a.m. for the East Coast fan. That's not right. That's at number 2.
You're right. I thought that Dana White, Nick Khan, WME, all these guys, I thought they did a fabulous job with everything but the start of the main event. because of exactly what you just said. It's a main event. You got to start that by 11 o'clock.
No doubt.
All right? No later than 8 p.m. West Coast time, 11 o'clock East Coast time. That's when the main events usually start. You have to do that. Everything else about it, I was there. It was a spectacular night. It didn't bother me getting booed at all. As long as they paying attention.
I don't blame him. I mean, it's absolutely just start the whole thing at 5 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time if you have to. That's ridiculous. Main events used to start like around 10 at the latest Eastern time, and who wants a 12:50 in the morning? It's not even Saturday night now. We're talking Sunday morning East Coast time. Absolutely crazy. All right. Let's see what else we got. Well, we're gonna take another quick break here, Angel, and then Trevor Harris from WQAM is going to join us. We're going to get his take on the buzz and the buzz for him. I wonder if he's going to do the post game show tonight. We'll wait and see for the Dolphins and the Bills. We'll see, but he is definitely, I believe, producing. And I have a special request for College Game Day, which I will reveal coming up because it's going to be in Coral Gables. Coming up this weekend as well. But all of that, Trevor Harris next from WQAM in Miami, talking Canes and Gators and Dolphins Bills next here on the Pete Sheppard Show on the Coastal Sports Digital Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey, everybody, it's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
You want the best in sports and entertainment? You got it. Now back to the Pete Sheppard Show.
It's an unbelievable opportunity for the university, the campus, the program to be showcased, and even more importantly, it's an opportunity for us to do a great job, not being distracted and keeping the main thing what it's supposed to be, making sure that we all understand that everybody working together has granted us tremendous progress, and we're getting better and better. And now as we take on the most talented opponent that we have faced, that we continue to elevate our progress and get better.
It's Mario Cristobal, head coach of the Miami Hurricanes. They get ready to take on the Florida Gators. Big showcase game on 7:30 on ABC on Saturday night. And game day, of course, is going to be in Coral Gables. And I am pushing very hard for my next guest, Trevor Harris from WQAM in Miami, to be the guest picker. I don't know what kind of juice I still have over there. Probably not a lot, but certainly you deserve the recognition. Good morning, man. How you doing?
Good morning. I will actually want this, put me and I think the other biggest college football guy I know is Carter Freeman. Fly him in from Dallas, me and him, two guys who like college football and sports, to be the college football pick'em guys.
Well, we know it's not usually athletes that get to do this, so it's usually going to be some. I hope it's not a country. It's going to have to be. I don't want any country singers. I'm so sick.
I think it's to be The Rock. That's my personal opinion. The
yeah,
Rock.
I think you're right. That makes sense.
I think that's gonna be the best one to get.
It's so easy to do. Ed Reed, The Rock, Ray Lewis, Warren Sapp. I mean, the list is.
Warren Sapp won't do it. I'll say that for sure. He won't do it. I think.
You don't think he'd do it?
No, I think he's too much of an a-hole. That's why, and he'll probably.
No, I agree with that.
I think he'll cuss up there. I think that maybe
he cuss on that show now. For even Saban cusses once in a while now.
I think you can probably get DJ Williams up, maybe from who does Dime Life. You can get him. I think the funny one, if you can get, is Brian Monroe, but I know he won't do it for sure. The former punter for University of Miami for the mid-2000s teams.
Yeah, I think you're right about The Rock. I think that's probably going to be, that'll probably be it. He's
Yeah.
lost some weight, by the way, right? He's in some movie role. He's doing something. I forget what movie.
I didn't know. I lose track of who's in movies now these days, which is a very bad job by me. So it's very bad. I was actually watching the U Part 2 last night, actually, just to
Yeah, it
get
was
me
on
ready.
there. I watched it last week, so it's just like I love it. There's so much unbelievable stuff.
Wonderful. It really is.
What's your schedule? Do you have any post game duties for the Bills and Dolphins tonight? You do. So what's going on? What do you guys aren't carrying the game though because you don't.
No, we since we're not the flagship
Yeah.
anymore. I think we're putting CBS Sports Radio on or BetQL on in between.
Yeah.
So I know we have our Game Day Uncensored show that starts at 4:00. Goes from 4:00 to 8:15.
Mm-hmm.
I have no part in pregame, thankfully, but I kind of wish I did because I'd rather do pregame tonight than postgame anyways.
So you're gonna wait around till midnight or 11:45 around there, and then
Let me look at my call time. Actually, I'll give you actually the right call time right now. Is I'm trying to figure out my day because I may have to do a midday nap, honestly, which I never do, honestly. So,
I love a midday nap.
I know a midday nap. Here we go. Anyway, so I know I have to do that, but it's like I'm just like I don't like Thursday night games. I think I did last year's Thursday night game as well between the Bills and the Dolphins as well. I had a whole thing to rip on Tua, and then he got concussion anyway. So, yay me. So I think my call times around I have to be there around probably 10:30 or 11. Probably get there by 9. So watch the game.
9 tonight to go and get all the sound and cut it all up and
yeah 9. I'm probably get there by 9 because
whatever.
95 South closes for construction, so I may have to get down even earlier.
Oh my God, that sucks. Even on a night like you think they'd still do it on a night with a game like this?
Yeah, but the good thing is it's in Buffalo at least, so that's the good part.
Oh, that's right. Shit, that's right. But
yeah, so it's the worst because leaving. I know 95 North will be closed for construction.
Well, they can do it Saturday night after the Canes beat
they
up on
no construction on the weekends, thank God, but it's only on the weekday. So it's the worst, honestly. So
we'll get to the Canes and Gators in a second. So you're going to come in after the Bills and Dolphins and
I'm going to go in around maybe second quarter at least. Just to get stuff ready for post game at least.
Yeah,
because we got a show. I think we're going to do a show. We took callers the last 2 weeks, anyways. The callers.
I'm sure the lines are going to be jammed. This is actually one of those games where you could actually get away with having a local show going up against a football game because I think people either want to talk about the Canes and Gators or they're going to shit all over Mike McDaniel and company. And this could be the swan song. I mean, this could be it. And what's the buzz down there? What are the fellas talking about? To me, this has got 41-17 written all over it. That's the type of game I think it's going to be. But then I hear others nationally saying, well, they may wait till they play Washington overseas.
Everyone's taking my card at least.
Why would you do that? But what's been the buzz this week about the Dolphins? This is it for Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer, pretty much.
Omar Kelly's been saying this. I don't think he's going to make it through October or make it to October anyways. I know that. I think the real big one is if you don't beat the Jets next Monday night, people are going to be pissed. I know that for sure. A lot of people are fed up with it. They're tired of it. After this presser on Monday, which I sent you clips, and I watched that show live.
I played the video and your audio. I played the video because I had it, and I played the rest of the audio. What a disgrace!
Yeah,
all the way, just an absolute disgrace. And you saw what happened on Sunday. That was coaching a lot of it at the end. They didn't know substitution patterns. They were jumping offside. They were a clusterfuck.
I looked at that as I'm glad I chose the Patriots to win this game, and I'm glad I am very team Mike Vrabel right now down here, as I am alone on an island, and people told me, shut up, Trevor, you like football guys. Yeah, football guys win, and they shove nerds in the locker anyways. That's what happened, so.
And again, to me, this is not personal with Mike McDaniel. It's strictly professional. It's just I see him. He makes these finally after 2 years, the national media started to pick up on what I've been saying. Just listen to the guy talk. I mean, it's just pedantic blathering about nothing. You need a freaking a Mike McDaniel's special closed caption button.
Yes,
on your remote to try to figure out what he's saying, and it's just gobbledygook crap.
When you have to read the transcripts, whatever he says after, just make sure what he says makes sense. It's like Jesus for real. Whoa, Nellies.
The stenographer, whoever's typing all this stuff in, because there's always somebody that works for the team, all NFL, that word for word, it's like you're in court, and it's just like, and whoever he or she is, I feel badly for. They need to triple the salary. Stephen Ross needs to triple that person's salary because to listen to that babbling fool after games is ridiculous.
Yeah, for real. Make sure it's word to word, quote by quote, anyways.
And then to hear Tua yesterday, it was yesterday or the day before, become Josh Allen's publicist. That is not.
That's awful.
Again, I mean, he must be getting creamed down there for that.
Oh, he got. I don't want to say execution style, but he has got people throwing darts at him. I was like, "What the hell are you doing? You're supposed to hate Josh Allen, but you want to be a publicist for him? Like, do you want to just go become a
You don't have to hate on it, but don't say, "Oh my, Josh, remember that time where Josh beat me and he did so many more things better than I can do? I can't even do all that. I'm Tua Tagovailoa, but he's Josh." You sound you sound like your coach almost. It's just ridiculous.
It's so bad. I heard that answer. I almost threw my laptop. I was like, I try not to throw my laptop at a lot of these pressers. I have to cut up, but Tua's presser, I was like, oh my Lord.
And that's a whole show right there. Those comments. I mean, I can't imagine guys like Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady. You can have respect for your other guy. You just say something generic like, yeah, he's a very good quarterback. We're going to have to play our best. We're going to have to play our best, and I'm going to have to play my best to beat him. You don't go into these freaking details about how great. I mean, God almighty, I thought he was going to ask him out on a date.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like Donovan would never do that. Michael Vick would never do that. It's just, I just shake my head down here. I really do.
I heard Dan Marino on somebody's podcast, right? You guys don't. I can't remember your show. I forget who's on whose show, but he was on. Who's Fitz and Wit?
I have no idea.
Okay,
is that Ryan Fitzpatrick's show?
Oh, maybe it is. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think it is Ryan Fitzpatrick's show. So that's what he was on.
Okay, I have not heard this sound yet because I've just been like.
All right. Well, here's Dan on the Fitz and Witch show about tonight's game.
You're right. Winning takes care of everything. It makes everybody feel good. It makes everything positive. The big thing is, in Buffalo we play in Thursday, so that's a quick turnaround. That's why you have to have that mindset. Like, hey, last year we lost on the last field goal at the end of the game, so we almost had them beat up there in Buffalo. So it's there. We have the ability to do it. It's just you got to get it done.
No, you don't. And here's before we analyze everything, Trevor. Here's another cut that he had about the game against the Patriots.
Well,
yeah,
Dan, we need some help for you to break down this Miami situation. Do I need to hit the panic button on my Dolphins? We're going to be good to go. Where are we at, Dan?
I think it's not a panic situation. As you know, you played in the league many times, and we actually should have won the game yesterday. And it was one of those things that when the end it comes down to the end a lot. The first game, we didn't really play well, and everybody knows that. And I felt like we played more than well enough to win this game. It's just at the end. We had a touchdown. Achane goes out of bounds, and then the next thing you know, a couple penalties, and then we end up losing the game. They came back from they were down 12-0. The Dolphins. They came back from that, and they came back from another lead that New England had, and I thought they played pretty solid the whole day. It's just as you guys know. You got to take advantage of opportunities when you have them, especially like that at the end of games, because in the NFL, all the games go down to the end.
Well, I hate to break it to you, Dan. The Patriots scored on 6 of their 8 drives, either a touchdown or a field goal. The only crazy part of the whole game offensively was Borregales, who was out in his home field, for God's sakes, who missed like one kick in the 3 years I saw him in Miami. I couldn't believe it, missing 2 extra points. He did come back with a big 53-yard field goal. I'm like, this is your home stadium. What's going on? But besides that, Dan, you're a little delusional that they were outplayed in all 3 phases of the game. They really were. And he didn't bring up the coaching at the end, which I find – he's
definitely paid by Stephen Ross. He's like one of their advisors and stuff anyway. So I just shake my head, and I didn't mind Dan Marino. I never watch him play. I know people say he
I
was
love
great.
Dan. I loved him at Pittsburgh, and the Patriots should have drafted him back in the day. They should have never let him go. He had a couple incidents his senior year.
Yeah.
Forget the pot thing. Somebody fell out his window and got seriously hurt or killed. I forget, and in his dorm room or something. But he was one of my favorite college players of all time. And I was so pissed when the Patriots didn't draft him.
I became so much more defending why I would take Troy Aikman or John Elway down here so much more, and it pisses everybody off anyways. Like, I just want two winners. Give me a mobile guy at least anyway. So
Well,
I was talking to my buddy. He's like, how much they talk about Dan Murray? Like, as much as I bring up Troy Aikman and John Elway in that same conversation now. So
Troy Aikman was on a much more well-balanced teams, though.
Yes.
Way more well-balanced teams. Dan never really had a running game at all. And you can say what you want about Don Shula, one of the greatest coaches of all time, and I get that. But, the organization as a whole, besides Duper and Clayton in those years and all that stuff, they only got to one Super Bowl, and they got clobbered by San Francisco.
Exactly. Which is the all-time elite balanced football team.
And they weren't the same. It was really weird because after the Patriots forced 7 turnovers in the 85 AFC Championship game on their way to the Super Bowl before getting creamed by the Bears 46-10. But the Dolphins were never – the Patriots won after losing 17 straight down there, then they won 4 out of 5 or whatever. I mean, they won even back in the day, Drew Bledsoe winning down there 14-12 to win the division one. But I mean, 85 they beat them down there, 86 they beat them down there. Then shit went crazy from 87 to they were terrible.
Yeah.
But once Drew got on the team, they started winning in Miami again. And Brady, that's usually been a house of horrors, but Brady did have his moments. He had a couple games there where he clobbered Miami.
The one game I always think about Brady down there in Miami is that Monday Night Football game in 04 versus AJ Feely. I don't know why. It's the one game I think about all the time.
He threw for 500 yards, 5 touchdowns, whatever it was. And he had that 99-yard pass, I think, early on in that game.
There's a lot. There's just so many Dolphin Patriot memories, and that I watch and I look at it now as I watch it this past Sunday. I was like, that was just beautiful. I was so happy for Vrabel. I was doing and McDaniel. So because I really wanted
him running down the sideline with Gibson was
that was my favorite. And people said, you like that? I was like, yeah, that's football guy, anyways.
Now, are you going to be able? Would you want to go to game day at Coral Gables? Last time they were here, remember that. Hurricanes clobbered Notre Dame, was a 41-8, whatever that was. And they said at the time was one of the biggest game day crowds they had ever had, which kind of surprised me because the stadium is 20 minutes away from campus, right?
Yeah.
It's about 20 minutes away from campus, Hard Rock, from Coral Gables. But I'm sure it's going to be another gigantic crowd. I posted all the stuff today on my Facebook page about the gates open up at 5 in the morning. 5 in the morning. But you plan on going over there at all, or?
There's that bed right there. I'm going to be sleeping because I did game day once. I was there for Ohio State, Michigan State once in 2015.
Where?
No, in Columbus.
Yeah.
No, I did not wear an Ohio State jersey. No, I did not wear a Michigan State jersey. I wore a Miami Hurricanes Devin Hester jersey that I still own.
Good.
I had Ohio State fans, Michigan State fans. Why the hell are you here? I was like, I just want to be at college game day. What about you anyways? So
yeah, they always have the person there. They got a lot of people there with different jerseys from time to time. So.
Exactly. So I did my college game day experience once, never again. I'm going to say this. I like my bed. I'm going to view it from my couch with my cup of coffee or an orange juice, and I will enjoy that, watching it for a little bit before I go to the gym. So that's my game day experience now for college football because I have I think I have a 3 p.m. call time anyway, so to do the game. So,
oh wow,
yeah.
Oh really? Yeah. So that's a huge pregame and stuff. It's gonna be big. National, 7:30 on ABC.
Yes.
One of the best games of the day. I just don't see. I don't know if this is a reflection on Brian Kelly and LSU or what. But if you had told me, if I didn't see the game and I just saw DJ Lagaway, who was 33 of 49, 287 yards, but he had 5 interceptions, I would have said LSU must have won by 40.
That's what I thought too. Anyways,
and yet they are still in the game at the end. And I'm just telling you, if the Hurricanes play like they did last week, even through the hour and 45-minute rain delay, that had to suck for you, huh? How bad was that?
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it funny.
Yeah.
I'm glad I was on the clock during that time because I get paid. That's why. There's no I in team, but there's 2 I's in invoices, I like to say.
And once again, I was texting him like, "Here we go." First, it's that because the first delay was around 5:30, and they said because it has to be automatic half hour, which I can't stand that.
Yes.
Then at first then it was 6:07. Then it was 6:33. Then it was 7:07. And then it was. Like,
So the funny. I'm gonna give you a little funny background.
Yeah.
When the second quarter started, I told the other producer in there, I'm gonna go get dinner, which is in the fridge. I'm hungry right now. I'm very hungry right now. Very hangry. So I went and got my burrito, heated it up, brought it on my little tray I have, and I heard a weather delay when I was coming back. I was like, no.
Now, you guys have stuff ready to go in case of emergency here. I mean, but there's one thing to fill a segment. When you have to fill like 4 segments, right? I mean, how did you guys handle that?
So we had we replayed a few of the interviews we had from network pregame and local pregame.
Would you guys ever go to calls?
No, we
We used to do that at Red Sox once in a while. Once in a while, if I was hosting at night before I got on the big show, I used to like rain delays because we'd get calls from the entire network. It was an 800 number that people would call in. But you guys don't go to calls?
No, we do not go to calls. Okay. We do not. We played interviews from Shannon Dawson, Corey Heatherman. We played Mario of Joe Zagacki from the Mario Cristobal show. We had Larry Bluestein, Hollywood, and Tim Reynolds on. Then it was Hollywood and Dono after we played some interviews and stuff. So yeah, we had talkers at least available. So
wow,
I know. And the funny thing is that second quarter went really, really quick because we didn't take many breaks. So we had to take most of those second quarter breaks during the.
Now, how are Joe and Don during the? I mean, now they can go have some. They're like, yeah, now we can go get something to eat. Trevor's going to be playing all sorts of taped interviews. I don't have to stick around for this.
Pretty much, and then we have Hollywood and Dono and all those people. So I like to see this. I was entertained for a little bit. I think there was like 4 weather delays. So I was like looking for a game to put on. I looked on CBS, weather delay. Fox, weather delay. I was like, I can't watch any college football because of these darn weather delays. What are we doing here?
I was, again, and I was like, so what time did you get out of there after all? And then the crowd just sucked because obviously half the crowd's going to leave after an hour and a half.
Crowd was okay, actually.
It was okay.
I got post game was supposed to end at 11. We got done with network at 10:45. So we did 2 segments of. We had a lot of ad space. So I was like, all right, I told them we're just gonna do 2 segments.
Yeah.
Just go. Anyways, we talked to Don Bailey Jr. and local, and we just played all the ads, and I got out by 11:45. Didn't get home. Get home till like 12:30. So.
And then you juice. You can't get to sleep, right? You're probably watching.
I threw on the Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez fight, which I don't do that much often. I threw that on Netflix, and
you got home just in time. We just said, did you hear what I played earlier about Mad Dog?
No, I did not throw on. What did he rant? Let me guess.
Yeah.
Did he rant about boxing starting at like 12 o'clock at night?
How about 12? Yes. Hey, Angel, can we play that again?
God, that he's had this same.
Oh, he's right though. He's right.
He's had the same bit since 2010.
I know he has. But just for Trevor's sake, because we don't have to play the whole thing, just the first part of it. Yeah, but he's right. I mean, it was ridiculous. I know they had 4.1 million viewers, but to start at 12:50 on Sunday morning was not. I mean, I don't know.
This is why I will tell the Mad Dog Russo to move to the West Coast. Move to the West Coast, please.
I don't disagree with him here. Like, hang on, here he is. He just fine.
It was at a decent hour. When I wanted to watch Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hearns in '85 with Al Michaels and Al Bernstein, it was at a decent hour. All right? Yeah. Listen, Canelo, who was not exactly freaking Sugar Ray Robinson, by the way. Canelo and Crawford, who, let's be honest, he's not Sugar Ray Leonard. When these two are going to fight on a Saturday night, and thank God he got booed in the state. You see that? He got booed like crazy. I love that too. But when you're going to freaking have a fight on Saturday night, you can't start it at 12:50 at night. I mean, my God almighty, that fight, they didn't walk into the ring until 12:30. I'm in bed. I've been watching Texas A&M and Notre Dame. I've been betting and watching LSU against Florida. I have watched the baseball. I want my bread and cookies at 11, watch the fight go to bed. I was sleeping. I had golf the next day. I bailed out. I stunk in freaking Jordan. But I played golf the next day. I had to be fresh in my... I don't want to keep my wife awake. And you got to sit there and you're going to start that fight at 10 minutes to 1 in the morning on a Saturday night? And I heard the excuse was the preliminaries ran too long. Who cares about the preliminaries? I didn't buy the fight to see some guy down the street who I've never heard of. I bought the fight for these two. That is a disgrace. That's embarrassing that they started a major sporting event at 1 a.m.
He's not wrong. He's not. I mean, back in the day, usually the fights at the latest 10, sometimes 11 o'clock at the latest. 10 minutes of 1 is ridiculous on the East Coast. Yet they're going to look at the numbers, see 4.1 million, and not complain. But for you, it was perfect timing.
It was. I will forever tell us to Mad Dog Ruser, by the way. He goes to the same country club as my parents, by the way. That's a little fun fact for you in Shorehaven in Norwalk. I will tell this to anyone. Just move to the West Coast. That is my little goal right now, or just go to a different time zone. I've came to terms in my life now. Central time zone, Rocky Mountain time, or West Coast time is the best for viewing for sports. If you're watching fights, anything really, because you'll be done by at least by like midnight at least.
No, I'm kind of with you there, but nevertheless, this is not.
I did this for Floyd Mayweather fights back in the day. I did it for Sugar Shane Mosley fights when I was streaming it off like whatever crack streams or whatever the old streaming platform it was back in the day. When I did, my parents would not buy a boxing fight or UFC fight, so I remember those days of staying up till 1 a.m.
Hey, the Hagler Hearns he's talking about 1985. So I had me. And no, it wasn't 85. It had to be a little bit late. It had to be around 88. There was another Hearns-Hagler fight, 87, 88. It was my first year in radio, and I had a couple of colleagues over. And the main event didn't start till about 10:30. And I will never forget this, Trevor. And it was obviously an unbelievable fight, as all of those fights were. Somebody at Comcast back then, whatever the hell it wasn't Comcast, it wasn't, whatever it was.
Philadelphia, maybe.
In Rhode Island, where I was watching the game, set the timer wrong. It was timer. So right in the 11th round, blip, just goes to a blue screen. I freaking lost it. I called ESPN. I got a hold of a friend who had the number. I was like, I want this scrolled. I'm screaming at the time. I want this scrolled that we got screwed in Rhode Island because we couldn't see the end of the fight, blah, blah, blah. Sure. And I called the place where they were located in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. And I'm screaming at them like, I want some butts. I mean, I was just nuts. I couldn't believe it. So they gave us, after all was said and done, yada, 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 we get the apology and we got the next fight for free. The next pay-per-view fight for free, as did thousands of other people.
Wow.
Because some bozo intern at the time would set obviously the preliminaries went long again.
Yeah.
And they cut it off at midnight, which was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
He said, we meant to do it at 2 a.m. I'm like, don't do it at all. I mean, wait till 5 a.m. if you have to. Anyway, that was my
Sounds like the WCW people that went over long and they got clipped anyways from back in the day in the 90s. So.
All right, that's going to be it, Trevor, for today. We can't wait. Can't wait for the game. I'm going to do the best to see you get the guest picker. So they'd have to let you out of some of your duties, be the guest picker. So you and The Rock be the guest picker.
That'll be true entertainment. I'll find that Hester jersey and I'll wash it for the first time in a while. Anyways, I'll bring that out and just. I know Miami would not be happy if it's not Adidas, but I'll wear it anyways. I'll just do the Pat Mahomes tape over the swoosh. So
nice.
All right,
Trevor Harris, WQAM, you the best. We'll talk next week. I'll text you during the game.
Oh, please do. Anyways, Upper Roll Podcast, myself and Hollywood's the guest this week. We're talking the Dolphins.
No rain, please.
We don't want no rain, but the only rain we do want is to rain on the Florida Gators parade and the LA Rams parade.
Look, if they can't beat, if the USF can beat them the way they did in Lagway throws, I'm telling you, I think it's going to be long. It's only 7.5. I lay that 7.5. I'll have my best bets tomorrow. But Canes all the way. Canes by double digits easily.
Enjoy his best bets with the Sports Rage is my favorite segment of the week, anyways. So.
Yes, awesome. All right, man.
All right, guys.
You're the best, Trevor. Take care. All righty. All right, Angel. Rick Hoa coming on in just a little bit, and I need to take a break because I got to go to Tinkles. So let's take a quick break, and then Rick Horrow, our sports business guru, is going to join us next here on the Pete Sheppard Show on the Coastal Sports Digital Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey everybody, it's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
Interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Whoa! Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie. So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Don't spaz out because your team lost. Let Pete do it for you. Now, back to the Pete Sheppard Show.
Just tremendous progress, Joe. I mean, a very diligent, hardworking group, a very selfless group. I think what really stands out is the enthusiasm, like the energy you see from a guy. Like watching Malachi Tony go crazy when Tony Johnson comes across the middle and catches that big one on 3rd and 3. Like that shows you they're legitimately in it for each other. So they just work their butts off. We're improving at blocking, which we still got to get a whole lot better at. We're getting better at the contested ball. So you see a group that's just working really hard and progressing and is hungry for more.
Hurricanes head coach Mario Cristobal on his awesome wide receiving core. You're going to see it on display. My man, Malachi Tony, one of the best names anyway in college football. He's a very, very good player. Welcome back to the Pete Sheppard Show here on the Coastal Sports Digital Network as we wait patiently for the sports business guru extraordinaire. Rick Horrow is going to join us at any moment now on the Coastal Sports Digital Network. Thanks for checking us out across the extensive video platform that we have on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, CSDN Florida, on the Odyssey app, across the Facebook pages, LinkedIn. Call or text the show, 727-858-6650, 727-858-6650. Angel Martinez, what's your weekend? What's it going to be like for you? Are you going to the USF destruction? Which it will happen. They're going to get back on track this week. There's no question about that. As they take on South Carolina State at Ray J, right? And then Kent State's at FSU. That'll be a blowout. And North Carolina at UCF is a very interesting game as well. But are you headed to Ray J by chance?
I surely am. And then you also got to figure, too, not only do I have USF football 12 o'clock on Saturday at Ray J, the night before, it is the broadcast of the USF ice hockey team right here on the official station for USF ice hockey. So that starts at 7:30 on Friday night.
Awesome. Who are they playing?
I will have to go back and look at the schedule because I believe there was a schedule change. So
they have an awesome club hockey team. It's club hockey, but that's great that they picked us to broadcast against. It's fantastic.
Yeah, but I'll take a look back and see exactly what they're playing. Because it is Friday, Sunday, so it'll be basically hockey Friday, football Saturday, hockey Sunday. So it'll be a busy USF weekend. Not to include obviously soccer and the other matches that are going on as well. But it's going to be a crazy busy weekend.
Yeah, no question. And the NHL exhibition season starts this weekend as well. And I'm going to have Mick Colagio on tomorrow for a little bit to talk about it. To talk about the upcoming season. We're obviously going to sprinkle in a lot of football. Gabe Morency will join us at 9:30. Also, I'm trying to get Kevin Winter to come on. Kevin Winter's in charge now of all the Gator Network and all that stuff. And I think he's down. He's going to try and come on with us tomorrow. But if not, we'll see. Who else is coming on? Gabe's coming on tomorrow at 9:30. I got about a gazillion text messages trying to put all these.
That's right. Thank you, Dylan.
Yeah, that's all I have. I'll have somebody. Oh, Meter Perel's going to come on tomorrow as well at 9:05. Fresh off his trip from Stanford, where the Eagles played well for first half, second half shutout. But we will see. So lots of who's FAU got this weekend?
No, that's who you
FAU in the hockey. Okay, great, excellent. A couple of Florida schools going at it in hockey. Gotta love that.
Yep, it's gonna be a good
Where are they playing?
Huh?
Where are they playing that game?
Wesley Chapel, the ice rink down there. They share the facility with the Tampa Bay Lightning.
The practice facility?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That's just, so it's a first-rate facility then.
Yeah, it's got to be a lot better. Listen, I don't know. I know they did a practice over at nearby Tarpon Springs, a little bit further down. It'll come to me. But anyways, the practice facility I went to the first time to have the team tryouts, not for nothing, but if you had allergies or any kind of respiratory system, I'm telling you that 15 minutes at that place, you'd have been in cardiac arrest, God knows what other arrest, every other arrest possible, because the air quality in there was horrendous. Thankfully, we were playing, and who knows, it might have just been the filtration system. All I know is when you were in the lobby, it wasn't bad. But once you went into the ice rink, holy crap, so it was really bad. But thankfully, not at Wesley Chapel. So it'll be a good time. Tickets are still available. You guys can come, which is always a good time. Anything related with USF, but good weekend for USF, both hockey and football. So this will be, I think, a bounce back game after putting Miami to the side and that loss. And hey, listen, USF can't complain either, because a lot of folks said that we're going to be starting out 1-2, starting out 2-1, not bad at all, and they're top 26-ish, just about. So you can always come back in the top 20 here.
But I think Mia brought up a great point yesterday about Gullis, the head coach. He's probably not going to be there next year. Probably not, unless something bad happens. What's the bill and say? Lightning practice at TGH Iceplex, but the Lightning had put a lot of money into the Ice Center in Wesley Chapel. They hosted the Prospect Showcase over the weekend. Oh, okay. Wesley Chapel.
That was a big one. So the Florida Panthers came up for that one, and I believe the Predators were at one point or another coming over as well. But it was a big. It ended up being a really nice weekend which again, hockey becoming super popular down here in Florida, but it was good. It was good by the Lightning, and they had their media day yesterday. Nick Paul was just told, or at least the fans were told, he's not going to be available until about November. He had an operation, so they're trying to make sure he's 100% healthy before he comes back. But it was funny because they already talked about, the questions were asked to some of the guys about Tampa Lightning, and as far as playoff hockey, I'm like, how about let's just start the preseason, get into the regular season, and worry about the playoffs a little later on? Because in Philly, they used to ask the same question, and would drive me, as a fan, it would drive me bananas. Like, let the season start before we start talking about playoff hockey. So that's the latest and greatest by the Tampa Bay Lightning as well. It's going to be a great time.
Rick Horrow also recently, and I saw his opponent, was recently in Gainesville and was very impressed with everything that is going on. Now, there was a little bit before the Billy Napier stuff was. And I wanted to see if he heard the rumors up there as well, because the John Gruden stuff, I don't think is going away anytime soon. And I think depending on what happens tonight, or Saturday night, I should say, because if the Hurricanes humiliate them, and I think there's a good chance, rivalry or not, I don't see Florida keeping up with Miami. I think Miami's defense is just way, way superior. It's just as good as LSU's, if not better. And Lagaway is not going to throw he won't throw 5 interceptions. He sure as hell, if those 5 interceptions against Miami, they will put up more than 20 points. I promise you that. That ain't going to happen. So we'll see. I think Carson Beck is playing fantastic. He's up there in the Heisman. It's very early in the season, but he's up there in the Heisman talk. So's Bane, by the way. Bane.
Bane?
Bane.
Making an appearance from Batman?
He's one of the best defensive players in the country. It's freaking outstanding. But he's up there as well. But Rick was in his talk. A lot to discuss with him between the Tampa Bay Rays and also not only the Miami Dolphins, but anyway. And just like that, look at there he is, looking happy and handsome, just like that. It's been a while, but there he is, the one and only Rick Horrow. You trying to make me dizzy?
No, it's a combination of earthquake and the metaphorical future of the Dolphins.
Well, I need 4 hours with you, but I probably only have like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You
could have 4 hours with me, but I'm not going to talk about it for more than 15 minutes because I just ate. I'm not going to continue this. I just did. By the way, I did Channel 12. I did my radio show over here.
Yes.
And my theme was, since 1966, and it's serious. I got my first ticket in hand when my dad was. It's the last time I saw him. He died of cancer, and this was his parting gift to me. And he knew he wasn't going to see me again. I didn't. He said, 3 months from now we're going to these games in September. It's the Dolphins. It's going to be great, and we're going to watch them for years. Well, and he's looking down. And there's a legacy that's way, way, way beyond just Joe Robbie and the stadium. For me, it's emotional, and it's more than metaphorical, and it hurts. It hurts because I didn't go last weekend, and I was going to go. I know you went. I heard, and it's a debilitating time, not because of necessarily 0-2, but what it looks like. And then you look back on the Marino blip, but since 1974 or 5, you could describe the Dolphins' win-loss as mediocre at best. And I always thought that they won multiple Super Bowls, and I travel around and I tell them I'm a Dolphin fan, and they said, you carry that bag around. Why are you carrying that? What's wrong with you? And it hurts.
Well, I know you're close to Stephen Ross. I know you're close to the organization, and I respect tremendously the sentimentality, all of that stuff. But my God, it starts at the top. It goes to Chris Greer. It goes to Charlie Brown, Mike McDaniel. And then, you got Tua yesterday or 2 days ago being Josh Allen's press agent. I mean, it's just the disarray, the chaos that ensued with their lack of coaching on the sidelines on Sunday against the Patriots, where people didn't know substitution. I mean, it's just snowball. What would be your fear? How do you got to make a big splash? They got to fire McDaniel. If it's not tonight, they should fire him tonight. Greer's got to go, but the owner has got to make a splash. And I'm predicting the splash, right or wrong, will be going after Bill Belichick next year with North Carolina. That's my little conspiracy theory.
Your little conspiracy splash theory doesn't include John Gruden this year?
No, and here's why. Not yet, anyway, and I'll tell you why. And you were just in Gainesville. You had a great piece that I saw. The people up there that I have talked to, including the great Me O'Brien yesterday, the John Gruden name is very much alive as far as the Florida Gators go, if Billy Napier, not if, but when he gets canned up there. The understanding is that he will not be welcomed back by most people in the NFL and doesn't want to coach in the NFL. He wants to coach, if he gets back into it, wants to coach the Florida Gators. Now, that may change. Money talks, but I agree with you. I think it's Stephen Ross is going to have to make some sort of a splash, whether it's Belichick or maybe even John Gruden.
How about Flores from Minnesota? No, Rick, stop. That's obviously not going to happen. But my comment about Flores is, when you say the NFL may not take him back, look, if you coach well and you get another chance, the Vikings, their defense may not be that great, but we thought we had the super assistant coach route and groom Weaver. Well, that historically bad defense, I don't quite understand how you give up points every possession except a kneel down. How does that happen?
Well, it happens, and then you did 6 out of 8 for the Patriots last week, too.
Yeah.
One was special, but nevertheless, touchdowns or field goals on 6 out of 8 possessions. The only crazy part about that game is Borregales, who I never saw miss anything in Miami, is on his home field and missed 2 extra points. But that aside, they were outplayed, and I know it got a little closer than it should have been, but they were outplayed in all 3 phases of the game in that one. And it was Drake May's coming out party as well. But don't you think that you're close to Mr. Raw? I mean, he's got to make some sort of splash here, right? He's got to.
Well, I can't predict that, and I'm not going to be. You respect this. I'm not going to be a headline. I have deliberately not talked to him about stuff other than texting, saying, I've got your back. You're a great trustee for sports in the area, and the text focused on, by the way, the Grand Prix, the tennis tournament, the national championship, the World Cup, all of those things. And obviously, he's done, and I don't know if people understand this, and I know your question is more of what does he do with the Dolphins?
Yep.
But he has done more on a pro rata basis with improvements of their own money, not public money, for facilities, for after purchase of a franchise. I could have said it better. than any other owner ever. And we're talking about what he did with the Joe Robbie Stadium and turned it into a facility that is now kind of a worldwide sports complex and helped that whole area. But that doesn't answer your question. And the question is, I don't know what the answer is, but he's has been listening to a lot of different people in his real estate business. He listens to everybody, but collectively, and then makes his own decisions, and they're always right. and so I don't know if you employ the same situation as you reach the back nine of owning the franchise. Let's put it that way. And let's be kind. He's got a great heart. And I know him to be an amazing fan, first, second, third. I've seen him after losses, and that's all you need to see. And he, has his own business that's not sports. But I remember for 20, 30 years when we were talking about the Jets and what they would do if he owned them. And it was an easy deal for him because it was New York. And at the end of the day, hold out for the Dolphins. And it happened. And you see other owners that have put half as much, a quarter of as much blood, sweat, and tears into the franchise and holding up the trophy. And it hurts. It hurts him as well. Does it answer his question? Yeah, the fans need a splash. But, you fire somebody early, then it's always easy to fire the current guy. What do you do in the interim? Weaver would have been the obvious choice by all the media pundits 3 weeks ago. Now what do you have? So I don't know what the right answer is, and I don't even know what the timing is. I mean, obviously there are two logical places that people always talk about: tonight, tomorrow, or after the bye during the Redskin Commander game in Madrid.
Yeah.
Splash. I hate. By the way, I'm going to Dublin Monday to play a little bit of golf with the Steeler guys and see your other people's Steelers play the Vikings over in Dublin. That'll be great.
That's
but
awesome.
I'm flying like most of the night to get back for that Jet Dolphin kickoff at 7:15 on Monday night. It's the Jets, so obviously, even if it's an 0-3, it's going to be a madhouse. But there'll be a lot of bags over people's heads.
Now, the real team in Miami, the Hurricanes, going up on College Game Day, which, by the way, my buddy Trevor Harris at WQAM, great producer, he comes on with me when he was just on before you at 8:05. If he can't be the guest picker, I say you should be the guest picker at Game Day in Coral Gables over the Rock. What about that?
Well, I love that idea, by the way. And are you going, aren't you? Are you going?
Here's the thing, Rick. I went to the Notre Dame game.
Yeah, I know you did.
As we were putting up our tent, it wanes about 3 inches on me in seconds, and I'm still battling whatever this cold thing I have. So I'm just laying low for a little bit. But are you going?
Yeah. No, I'm going early. I'm going to be with the AD. I'm going to kind of walk around and carry the flag. I chose not to go to the Notre Dame game just because I had been traveling 18 days in a row. I kind of wish I did. Chose not to go to South Florida because it's a trek. I'm now from St. Lucie. It's a trek. But I'm not going to miss this one. And so I need you to do me a favor. I need you to talk to your producer, and I need you to connect me with Sagaki, and I'll be there very early. And maybe I'll do a little bit of an interview on South Florida sports with them on where we are and where we're going, because I would love to talk about how exciting it is that the Hurricanes are number 4, number 2, and if you look at CBS's power rankings, are number 1. It's unbelievable.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'll definitely contact Joe. You're going to be up in that area anyway.
Oh yeah,
the press box is. So just
I'll be glad to call them first, and then I'll follow up behind, and I'll be there as early as I need to do something with them.
That's awesome. Yeah, they have a 4-hour pregame show.
Yeah, I know.
3:00.
I know.
So
don't do me a favor. I love to do it. But when you say a 4-hour pregame show, it's like, all right, you'll be the shit, you'll be the droppings. You got to phrase it better. I'd love to be their premier guest.
Okay, I'm sure we can arrange that. Ed Reed, Warren Sapp, you.
Yeah.
No question. I'll definitely do that.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I want. So that's great. You're going. I can't wait. I want to shift gears a little bit to the Tampa Bay Rays and kind of a. It's football season, so baseball gets thrown under the bus a little bit here, but under the radar, I should say. So Tampa Bay president Matt Silverman, Brian Aud, stepping down from their roles, yada, yada, yada. The moves are connected with franchise sale, yada, yada, yada. Stu Sternberg says something is going to happen in the next couple of weeks as far as where they're going to play. What do you make of this whole? I haven't talked to you in like a couple of months, and why do I get the feeling we're going to get the same sort of? We just don't know overall. But what are your whole thoughts about what is going on with the Tampa Bay Rays? And do you have any sources that are telling you anything that is relevant?
Well, I kind of do, and that's why I'm going to answer this question. At the end of this, it's going to make it sound like I gave you a good answer, but I'm going to give you nothing. Okay, and you're good at that because I've given you nothing for 30 years, and you called me back, so that's okay. So I do think it is how about this? A entirely new day when you follow the statements of the commissioner. And he says new ownership, wipe the slate clean, starting over. Starting over means a lot of things. I mean, it means a kind of new set of personalities. It means new opportunities. It means new pitches with new leverage and new funding sources. And sometimes when you start swipe the slate clean, you get 8 steps up and 30 steps back. Many times you get a deal done. If you remember the first deal with the White Sox when they leveraged St. Pete and they turned the clock back many years ago when you were just a baby, the end of the day was swipe the slate clean, start over, and get a deal done in Chicago and then the expansion franchise in Tampa. So I ain't answering no more questions right now, but I will tell you that I'm pretty bullish about the situation. And by the way, you always have a friend in me, and I guarantee you that if I have anything to do with it, your parking space will be within 6 or 7 miles of the stadium.
Oh, just like the blue lot. Actually, I parked in the blue lot for the first time in the Notre Dame game.
Oh my God!
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
I did. Did you like crawl in? Did you put on a Ray Lewis mask? How did you get in?
No, it wasn't that. My Uber driver dropped me off. He didn't know what
No,
the
they
hell
don't
he was
know.
doing.
No,
He
by
dropped
the
me
way,
off.
you get an Uber driver anywhere. I was at the U.S. Open 3 weeks ago in New York, and you figure New York after years, Uber driver. Oh, where? Oh, I shouldn't. No, an accent would be racist. Let me just do it this way, quote unquote. Where is Flushing Meadow? Where is this stadium? And I'm thinking,
Does he know where the airport is, for Christ's sake?
no. All right, I'll leave it alone. And by the way, you do know that that's the way it is everywhere in the country. They have some general notion of where the stadium is, and so it's like Pro Player Stadium. They have the old maps, or Hard Rock. Oh well, Hard Rock, yeah, but the Jimmy Buffett Memorial Stadium or whatever it used to be called, Joe Robbie. Oh yeah, the Uber drop off is in Ogis. It's in Homestead. And you can go where you want.
But at the U.S. Open Flushing, if he doesn't know, just say, see those planes? It's right across the street. Follow the
It's
plane.
right under the plane. Oh, and then I get dropped off at Terminal 2 at LaGuardia. That's all I need. Go find your way.
Hey, finally, Rick, in all seriousness, your trip to Gainesville, what was that all about? I watched it, but I'm gonna.
You need to watch it. You need to watch it, and the reason why you need to watch it is I'm so proud of my relationship with Bob Graham. When Adele and the kids said, "Will you MC and give the kind of keynote for our 20th anniversary of the Bob Graham Center?" You remember because you know, and some people know, and if they don't care, they need to care how important Bob Graham was in politics in general, in Florida politics. He restored credibility without even talking about today, restoring credibility in terms of Florida politics. But the issue was he was really my mentor. He helped me create the South Florida Sports Authority. He had a great story when we were kind of fired 18th time for the Heat, and he said, "Persevere, man. You're the guy that does it. And I've always got your cell phone number. You got my cell phone number. Yeah, but your cell phone just moved 3,000 miles from Tallahassee to Washington. You're still going to call me." And he did. And I've got it's a great set of stories and a tribute. And then the day after, and I got back from there 2 days ago, invited to kind of help put a program together for the Communication and Journalism School with Bob Graham Foundation input. And it'll be sports business, and it'll be kind of creative thought from the Gainesville, Florida, Graham perspective. Loved the if anybody wants to see it and thinks they'll get bored, it's 13 minutes, man. Suck it up and watch 13 minutes.
It's very good. It's absolutely very well done, except at the end when you did the gator chomp. But I could accept it.
I won't do that. No, I did. But you think that would work in Gainesville? You think that'll work? It won't work in Gainesville. I guarantee you.
Rick, you're the best. Thank you so much. Safe travels. Have fun at the game tomorrow. I'll be watching. I will make a call to Joe Zagacki and tell him you were going to be around, and he can hopefully squeeze you in. I think that would be a great interview. And you guys
send them that link to that South Florida sports thing as well.
I will do that.
I want you to be my PR agent because I really want to kind of give back on Saturday. That'd be good.
Sounds good. And then safe travels to Ireland. That's going to be
all right. And as far as the Dolphins, I'll just leave it at. I can't. Yeah, I know. Oh, excuse me. Safe trip to Ireland. Eat a lot of potatoes. 9 rounds of golf. Very excited. I'll leave it at that. How's that?
All right, my friend. All the best. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Bye.
All right, take care. Bye. The legend from Duke. Yes, he did go to Duke. Incredibly. He got a pretty good education at Duke, I think. I forgot to ask him about Duke, this dog. I forgot to ask him about the dog, how the dog is doing. Anywho. All right. Bill Burke going to join us from the Eagle Tribune in just a few minutes here. We'll talk Patriots, Steelers, flaky boy Aaron Rodgers, and, just I think the Steelers are going to be in for some trouble on Sunday. I really do. Hang on. That's not for me. Anyway, Angel Martinez. Tomorrow's show, we will definitely have, Jay Flanley at 8 o'clock. Then we will have Meter. I'll do my pigskin picks after Jay. We will have Meter at 9 o'clock tomorrow. And then we will have Gabe Morency. So there's your show for tomorrow. And with all the fixings, all the games and me picking against the spread and pigskin picks and all that stuff. So what do you think, Angel, of Rick's comments about the Rays? There's a lot there. As much as he can say. I know he knows. He can only say so much. But what do you think?
I think with the news from last night that there's some of the brass are stepping down, I'm pretty sure they're just saying, hey, listen, we're coming to the end of the season. We're coming to the end of the year. We're planning on going golfing. You guys take over and figure it out from there because the new ownership group is going to take over. I think they'll take over just before the last game of the season. And I also believe strongly and wholeheartedly they will remain in Tampa. And it's going to be probably more than likely out there by Ybor City. I know and I had talked about before with the Tampa Bay Sun, they were looking at a lot that were going to be in there right off the 275. But I think it's for the Rays are going to, unless they build a stadium where they can kind of share things, I think the Rays will pretty much outbid Tampa Bay Sun to do so. But I think they'll play maybe one season down here in St. Pete just to kind of close that thing out. But if they decide to come in there, like I said, it's all hands off. Like St. Pete did the job that they were supposed to have to repair the roof. But at the same time, they would probably be really upset because that's $22 million you're going to have to spend on this thing that looks like, it takes 4 days, I think, for every panel to go up. And thankfully, so far, knock on wood here on the desk, that we haven't had any hurricanes coming through.
Yeah.
But, in the end, I just don't see it feasible for the team to stay down there in St. Pete. Even if they did all kinds of renovations to the Trop, it just wouldn't work.
And again, Matt Silverman, one of the presidents who's stepping down, will not have, according to this report, will not have a formal role with the club after the sale is complete. He will represent Sternberg and his partners on an executive advisory board being established by the new ownership group, whatever that means. And then Silverman said, this was kind of funny to me, what makes me proud is to seeing how the Rays have become woven into the region's identity with a true generational fan base taking shape. Children who once came to games are now bringing their own families, and that sense of connection will continue to grow for decades to come. Under Stu's leadership, we have fulfilled our mission to energize the community through the magic of Rays baseball. No, I think what has grown is you still have Red Sox, Yankees, Mets, Cubs, Dodger fans filling up your stadium. For the most part, even this new the minor league field with 10,000 people, I don't know if you have a true generational fan base. I'm not sure about that. I know there's a lot of bandwagoner, jumper honors a couple few times in the playoffs. They come out of the woodworks a little bit. But when you talk about fan bases around Major League Baseball, the Tampa Bay fan base got to be at the bottom of the list. Got to be at the bottom of the list as far as true. And I'm not saying they're not out there, but it's a minority. You're looking at the other teams I just mentioned that are the ones that fill your stadium when they come. There's not the generational Tampa Bay Rays fans. That's just my thought.
It's not. There isn't. I mean, I can't. Truthfully, there's not Rays fans here that wear Rays gear. Like I said, the Bucks fans around here, it makes no sense to me. Bucks fans only wear Bucks gear that I have seen only when the season gets ready to start. That's about it. You'll see more jerseys from Bills fans that moved here, Steelers fans, obviously Eagles fans, tons of them that all moved down here. But as far as Rays, unless someone's wearing just an old dirty hat for the Tampa Bay Rays, nothing against the Rays. I don't want the Rays coming after me. But if they wore like a hat they just need to throw on, that's about it. You just don't see. It's not like, and I'm just using Philly, obviously Boston. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You see like Boston fans, Philly fans constantly all year round with some sort of gear from their team, no matter who they are. Even the Lightning around here. Mm-hmm. The Lightning might get someone to wear a T-shirt, again, just before preseason starts. It's just not the same feel that it is here. And I know because there's a lot of transplants here, but as far as the Rays having generational folks that come down there, no, not at all. When the Red Sox come, guaranteed sellouts, Red Sox, Yankees, top two, period. Yep. When the Phillies come, it's another sellout.
Phillies, Mets, Cubs, Dodgers. It's opposing teams' fan bases. And you know why? For mostly, it is cheaper to fly down. Hey, Sheila, good morning. It is cheaper to fly down to Tampa than it is for a family of four. I'm telling you, the packages are much better to fly to Tampa. And I say this before, for Red Sox, people who couldn't get into Fenway would fly to Baltimore. It was cheaper to get to Camden Yards, stay at the Marriott, right at the Inner Harbor there, and just walk up to Camden Yards. It's better package deals. I mean, the ticket prices are ridiculous.
Yep, they are.
Not so much in Tampa, but I mean, it is really, it's off the chart. And I don't know how some of these people can even afford to go. And then you get into the stadium and the food prices are just stupid.
It is.
Just stupid. $35, $25 for a drink, $30 for this, $25 for that. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. So
that's about it. By the way, Duncan Dad over on Instagram says, Miss Levon says, go Rays, which she's, I believe, born and bred here in Florida. So one of the few ones. And speaking of, before Bill comes on here as well, when you have the Bucks have a new menu, supposedly, when you go out to the stadium. But the only problem is, the only ones that are going to be able to enjoy it are the people up in luxury boxes, because it's not going to be available to like the rest of the fan base. So I don't know. I just think Tampa in general, the way they do things, they kind of shun fans. I don't know why. Even though you'll hear fans say, oh, no, that's not true. It's just, I don't know. Maybe because, again, it's a homer thing coming from Philly.
Well, I don't think it's but it's definitely with the Rays. And this stuff about the generational fan base that the President Silverman is talking about, he's out off his rocker, because there's no generational fan base for Tampa Bay Ray baseball.
Not at all.
Anyway. All right. With that being said, we switch gears again and head back up to Massachusetts, the great Commonwealth. And here it is. Bill Burke from the Eagle Tribune joining us this morning. I don't know if were you at Fenway last night?
No, I'm going tonight.
Oh, this afternoon.
But I watched it. I watched the entire game. These are playoff games. It's the one thing I don't like is, and you hear it with the announcers. They have a bases loaded. Don't get anyone in with no outs, and it's like that happens in the second inning, and everyone's like gasping for air, and you can't play baseball that way. You got to move on. And look, it's we could say it's the the Sacramento A's, but guess what? We saw the stat up there. I think since mid-July, they're the best record in baseball. They're tough. And so that's the way this is going to be the rest of the way until they clinch. This is not over, but as Jack Nicklaus used to say, you keep throwing pars at them. Eventually, they'll break. You just have to win a few more games, and then the Clevelands and whoever are going to go. Okay, we can't do this. They're just, these teams aren't losing. So, very big win. It wasn't pretty. 7 relief pitchers, but that's the way it's going to be. This team doesn't really have that. They're the opposite of the Yankees, who hit home runs, 3 home runs a night. This is a single walk, steal, sack fly. There isn't that guy right now.
Surprised they sacrificed and with the ghost runner, with Eaton at second base. I mean, that's not really what they do until lately. And until Roman Anthony comes back in the lineup, Durant has to lead off. He has to.
Yes.
You cannot have him batting. The other night when he had him at 9th, I'm like, what the eighth? I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, that's not Cora. That's the analytics department.
Well, I know. Stop listening to them.
Well, yeah, I think though, Pete, and we've said this before, analytics is in charge, and the baseball people have to answer to the analytics people, which is the opposite. Like Philadelphia does it the other way.
Yeah,
the analytics people report to the baseball people. That's my one big failing here with the Red Sox. Yankees are very similar too.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I mean, it is the one good thing is they do have the tiebreaker over Houston and Cleveland, so we know that. Seattle, and New York.
Yeah.
And Seattle, I don't believe they do. They're tied with Seattle right now. Seattle's technically ahead with the same record, but you're right. Just hang in there a few more games. I'm hoping Bayo rebounds a little bit, and he doesn't usually do well in day games, if I'm not mistaken. Either. Now, today's game's at 1:35, which means you have to leave in about 10 minutes to get there.
It's yeah. So look, Bayo though. Let's be honest. Bayo's been on, and he's been. I got to give him. You pick 3 or 4 guys that are sort of underrated guys. Like I'll put Story there. We didn't really, because Story got lost in the Anthony, the resurgence. But Story's been there the entire way. He's not
been healthy.
Yeah, right. That too. But I'm saying he's had a lot of key hits. Great defender, very underrated. We don't talk about shortstop. He's arguably he's in the running for a wild card. I'm sorry, a Gold Glove.
Gold Glove, so, absolutely. Yeah.
I look at Bayo today. I expect Bayo. Look, Giolito wasn't awful last night. He just got into a jam in the 5th inning, and that's where I'm going to give Cora credit. We're not screwing around here. You know what? If you're not finishing the job, I don't care who it is. You're coming out. That's what happened when Walker Buehler. 4 innings, shutout. All of a sudden, you walk 2 more guys in the 5th inning. You're out. That's the way he has to manage this team, and he is. And I give him credit. And I'm expecting Bayo to pitch very well tonight. He's definitely made the move up.
Well, the numbers that we're talking about here, which the Red Sox 3 for 17 with runners in scoring position. They stranded 13 runners last night after going 0 for 7. Jeez, I hate when this thing. After going 0 for 7. Hang on. 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position in Tuesday's loss. They're 7 for 38 with runners in scoring position during the first 5 contests of their 6-game homestand. But they overcame it last night. The other thing that's an unbelievable stat, when they don't score first, they usually lose.
Right. It's weird. It's like that's what happens. It's like there's this desperation feel right now, and you can't play that way. Look, they're depending on guys who are not expected to be on this team. And they're on the team because of injuries. We're talking AAA guys. We're talking AAA pitchers. And, Lowe has, slowed down a bit after his hot start. And again, Pete, I said this before, they don't have one hitter who's carrying them. And you sort of need that. And that's what I think they got to figure out here. And I know you can't wait for Anthony, because you might not get to Anthony because he might not be around for, that oblique is that's a 5-week, 6-week injury. This was not a slight strain. This was a legit strain.
Can we worry about that more because he's so young and has that type of injury? And could that affect him in years?
No. This is it happens. It happens in baseball a lot, and he just it's now they got to stretch. It's a stretching issue a lot of times, and you're young, you don't really stretch. And he took one swing. The thing is, Pete, he dinged it. The swing before. If he left the game then, he would have only missed a week. But when he took the next swing, he strained it completely. So, again, Pete, I'm looking for the offense. The pitching's been steady. They have 3 or 4 starters. The young kid early looks like a legit starter.
Absolutely.
And
And if
so
Goldie can come around at all and help out, even in the bullpen, that'd be huge.
you need someone to step up offensively. And look, Bregman, it has not been the guy. Let's be honest. He's look, had a nice walk last night. They didn't score, but there've been opportunities, and he did hit a line drive.
I get the feeling he's due. I have this feeling about him that he's ready to explode. These next few games. I got a feeling.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. And but that's the way this team is constructed. It's again, we're not the Yankees here, where they literally got 5 guys that can hit a homer every time through, and the Red Sox are the exact opposite. And look, Abreu, haven't really mentioned him. That would be really nice getting him back.
Last night on Nesson, right? He's getting closer, it seems.
Yeah,
right?
it's a strange injury. Ref Schneider is great when he's playing twice a week, not 4 or 5 times a week. And they're depending on guys that just aren't, this isn't their role. This is not what they're suited for. That's not why they're on this team. So look, survive, move on. Survive, move on.
I think today's going to be tough. I'm telling you, Bayo doesn't pitch well in the day. His record against the A's is 1-1 with a 9.42 ERA. Hopefully that can change. It's not a huge sample size, but nevertheless, this is one of those days. Again, Jin's pitching for the A's. He's not bad. I mean, he's not great, but he's not bad.
No, he's steady. Look, the Red Sox got to hit better. Let's be honest. And you can't win. If Bayo gives up 2 runs over 5 or 6 innings, that's a good start. How about 5 runs a game? How about scoring 5 runs in the first 5 innings, and then you put the game to rest? Then you manage the bullpen.
Like the Yankee game Sunday night, finally 6 runs in the first, and then just kind of hang on and win 6-4.
But that was a hell of an inning. And they needed that. That was you got like these 6 or 7 games. I go back to the third game in the Philly series when they were down 5-0, I think, through 5 innings and came back and won it in extra innings. That Yankee game. They, the Yankees probably after, you win 2 games, the third game, you go to sleep. That happened to the Red Sox in Yankee Stadium a few weeks earlier. They gave away that last game. But the Red Sox, listen, everything is in place here. They're scrapping a little, but I'm going to bet on Bayo today, Pete. I think Bayo's going to pitch a very good game, more of a 7-inning, 1 run, and the Red Sox win this game, sort of a 5-2 game. And again, I'm going to go back. The offense has got to they got to score more in these pitchers.
Yeah, I'll just bet the under, if at all. All right, let's shift gears. Last few minutes here with Bill Burr from the Eagle Tribune to the Patriots. Obviously, Drake May hit, I think, his best game. I don't think there's any doubt about it. Yep. You saw a growth spurt, if you will. I mean, there is no question that, and the way Josh McDaniels called that game was outstanding. Had him moving around. They did a lot more different things. Obviously, Stevenson was unstoppable catching the ball and even running the ball. Yeah, I mean, it's just still a couple of things that need to be tweaked. No question about it. But I think the Steelers are going to be in for a rough time this Sunday. I really do. A few
things, Pete.
A few things. What I'm seeing. Yeah.
A few things. The offense was 32nd in the league last year, and in yards per game. They're now like 11th, and that's after a really bad game, the first game. So what does that tell you? You mentioned Josh McDaniels. I think that's the game changer here. I wrote that a couple of weeks ago. And look, they looked off the first game, and they looked like Brady and Josh last week. Everything that Josh McDaniels did, again, using Drake May to his full, when I say potential, I'm talking about all of his intangibles. He did throw well in the pocket. He did throw well. He's one of the best throwers on the run.
Throw well in the pocket, throw well on the run. I mean,
decision making, Pete. Decision making. But that's where Josh comes in, because I think him and Josh, and look, they've only been together. I mean, I guess you could go the whole offseason here, but this is 2 games. So we got to give it time. There is going to be some bumps, and defenses are going to figure, that's what they have, guys that sleep 2 hours a night looking at film, and they figure this stuff out. There's going to be some tough games, but I think we saw a lot. I think we saw the potential of this offense. And you mentioned Ramondre Stevenson. he had 3 big plays. It wasn't one. I think he got a game ball for one.
Yeah, you got that catch, that wheel route that he had. Absolutely beautifully perfect throw and fingertip catch was
not
just,
an easy catch.
Nope.
But also on the screen pass, 3rd and 13, he gets 15 yards. He had another play, a big run up the middle for 14 yards, about 14 yards. He looked like the guy. I mean, I don't know where that guy's been for 2 years, but you could argue the offensive line was horrific. No, I'm not going to argue. It was horrific last year. Pete, you and I probably talked about that every week here.
And they've been very good. They were excellent, I thought, on the whole. The only thing on the offensive line, which really is not, is Travion Henderson got to do a little bit better job blocking, a little bit better job when he's picking up blitzers and stuff. That's and I think he'll get there.
And the pre-whistle, the pre-play penalties. You got to stop that. There are too many of those. Listen, Pete. I really like this offense, and look, the wide. They still don't really have that wide receiver one guy, and it's Diggs again. Only 2 games back from his injury. He looks like he's fitting in.
Only run more than 20 yards down the field this week. That's what I'm waiting for.
Well, yeah, and I think that's going to take a little time because they're trying to figure out how teams are going to play the Patriots. Pittsburgh Steelers don't have a great defense, so this is a potential, another potential game. But I will say this: the Steelers need a win, and when they need a win, they usually play well. I see this, Pete, a crazy last field goal. That's where your guy from Miami, he can't miss an extra point, and he can't miss a 37-yarder.
But that was the most, last Sunday in his home stadium. I'm telling you, 3 years he never missed anything. Maybe one kick I saw in 3, and then you're in your home stadium and you have to. But you know what? I knew he was going to make that 53-yarder.
Yeah, listen, Pete. He's got a leg. He's got a powerful leg. That would have made it from 65 yards.
Yeah.
And the way this team is constituted, it's new team, and they're going to be in a lot of close games. I mean, they have an easy schedule, but they're going to be in a lot of close games. The kicker is, he's very important this year. So,
huge.
80% not good enough, unfortunately. It's got to be up to 80. No, 75 not good enough. It's going to be more like 85, 90%. And you can't miss extra points. So very, very big season, big couple of games here because this is a field goal game, Pete. This is the way Pittsburgh plays. The end of the game is close. That's the way they play.
I want them to get the flaky boy early, meaning Aaron Rodgers, get in his head. Because I'm telling you, I think if he screws up early, that it's going to snowball. I just don't. There's just something about him that I cannot stand. And that game against the Jets really surprised me how high scoring it was, and then the Jets go get blown out by Buffalo. So how good is Pittsburgh? I think the Patriots can take control of this game, and I think they're going to win by a touchdown. The Christian Gonzalez thing, I played his interview from yesterday. First time I've seen it. We're going to know more about him today. What's your gut feeling about him getting ready to go on Sunday?
Yeah, I think he's going to play. I think they'll probably manage it a little bit. Maybe passing downs per se, not get him in on. They don't want him in on running plays and start getting involved in tackles per se. So big. But Pete, the one thing about the schedule, remember the Patriots were sort of embarrassed against the Raiders. Raiders aren't that good either.
No,
and so we don't want to. I don't want to overstate. And they beat the Miami Dolphins, who are a complete mess right now, as we saw. But I'm just saying, there's signs are there. Defensively, Patriots are not good yet. They're not even close to good. What they did was they made some big plays. What they were doing here, last year, I said offensively they were 31st. They were 32nd. They were 31st last year in offense. They were last in sacks, 28 sacks. They have 9 already. Number 1 in the NFL. That's huge. Milton Williams, he's had a steady couple of games here.
Fantastic.
But that's what you do. That's what you do, the big-time players. You win the game, and he won the game with the sack there. So there's a lot at stake for the Patriots, too. The Steelers' offense is pretty good. It's not great. So Patriots' defense, how about holding a team 20 points and under? How about getting to Rodgers, who's not really mobile, as we've seen? So big week for the Patriots. But, Pete, this is going to be a close game. It's going to honestly, it's a borderline coin flip. The defense might have to win it this week.
Yeah, right now, the Patriots favored by, let me look here real quick. The Patriots are favored by Actually, Pittsburgh's favored by 1.5, and the total 44.5. Okay.
That's about, honestly, that's what it probably should be.
Yeah.
You don't overreact from the Patriots win last week, and you don't overreact for Steelers having a crappy game last week. So we'll see. I like the Patriots. I think I like them. I don't love them, but I think this is a look, when you want to win 10 games, 9 games to make the playoffs, you sort of got to win this game, and because you're not going to win all these coin flips. You're home. This is Drake May play. He had a couple of decent games last year at home. The Jet game last year, they won that game close, 25-22. So I'll go back to the key person on this team. We mentioned them all. They've all been mentioned today. It's Josh, it's Drake, and it's the kicker. And I think those three have really good games. Patriots will win the game.
Bill, you're the best. Have fun. I really think you should leave now if you want to get to Fenway before,
I'll be there.
How the traffic's going to be on a Thursday afternoon.
No, it's easy. We get light traffic. You're going 128, that's different. 93 into Boston, I can get there in 35 minutes.
Nice. And I don't think the crowd's going to be great today either at 1:35 on a Thursday, but maybe it is.
Yeah, they've been that place has been rocking, Pete. I got to
I watched every game. I watched every game.
I'm going to say it's going to be close to being packed today.
I hope so.
Good. Look, great opportunity to get in and out of Boston by 4:30. So I'll be in there. So
no such luck, no such thing. All right, man.
All right, Pete.
I'll talk to you soon. We'll talk next week.
We'll talk next week.
Yes, Bill Burt from the Eagle Tribune joining us here on the Pete Sheppard Show on the Coastal Sports Digital Network. All right, Angel Martinez. Well, I think that's going to do it. That's going to do it. Great show today. Bill Burt, Rick Horrow, Trevor Harris. Good stuff. What's coming up on the network today, Angel Martinez?
Today be Thursday. We have Ain't That Right with Duncan Dad. So that'll be on at 1 p.m. So you guys can check him out. And as always, you can go back and take a look at this stuff that we have here on the network, as always, on sr1029thegame.com and or on the Coastal Sports Digital Network.com as well.
All righty. Tomorrow's show, great show lined up. Jay Flanley at 8:05, John Meter-Perel at 9 o'clock, and then Gabe Morency with his Pigskin Picks at 9:30. I'll have mine around 8:30 yesterday. I'll review last week, and we'll have a blast tomorrow. Always fun on a Football Friday. Thanks to Angel Martinez. Great job today, as always. I am Pete. I'm back tomorrow at 7 a.m. here on the Coastal Sports Digital Network. Woohoo!